Like, only thing that it's the bad side is that it actually helps me, but it takes me away from gaming at home. But it's so easy that I just kept it. I'm like, I might as well just make some easy money. But that's why I had to
It's a
invest in
lot more. It's a lot more
the
chill.
portable. Yeah, way more chill than my first job. But that's why I had to invest in the handhelds, the streaming joints. That's how I be getting most of my gaming in now.
And when the native
Like,
joints come, you're gonna be right
oh
there too, bro. You're
god,
gonna be right there
oh
too.
god. Yeah, I probably will be, but here we go. Like, cause I got I copped the Logitech, is it Logitech lead, the Logitech G joint,
Oh yeah,
the streaming shit. Yeah,
that's like that.
I had,
That's the mic. Not Microsoft, but like they be
but
promoting
yeah,
Game Pass
they
on that
promote
shit.
it heavy. Yeah, but Xbox streaming is low key ass. Like that shit is,
That's the funny
it's
thing.
nowhere near as good as PlayStation's joint.
That's what's so
And
interesting about it because they're kind of making this whole push for like the whole xCloud thing, and they made a kind of big deal
yeah,
about. They're always mentioning cloud gaming, but honestly, if you try xCloud versus what PlayStation has to offer, plus like other options like GeForce.
GeForce now blows all of
Yeah,
them shits out the water.
yeah.
I love GeForce now.
Xbox low key got the worst joint, bro.
They do, and that's because, well, one thing is the handheld version of their streaming service is locked to 720p. So when I'm
Yeah,
playing on the basically it's like a glorified tablet, it's locked to 720p, and their bit rate, the highest it goes is like 9 megabits or bytes, whatever it is,
yeah,
per second. The PlayStation one is 15. The shit on GeForce now, I think, can go up to as much as
it's
like
crazy.
50.
Yeah, something crazy.
So yeah, so like the quality difference be crazy on the Xbox. So I was like, you know what? They got all their games on GeForce now with the PC Game Pass. So I just play all their games there because it's way better like image quality and frame rate and
Okay,
stuff like that.
okay. We're
Yeah.
live, by the way. We
Oh,
are
shout out to the
live, by the
people.
way.
What up? What up?
As
We're
you guys
here.
can see, there's 2 less boxes. I ain't gonna say them boys are fired.
Yo, we had a great show last week. I don't know what happened. They
But
was
I'm gonna
getting
say
on your
them boys on
ass. That's
thin
what happened.
ice. I'm gonna say them boys on
What?
thin ice.
What happened? Chat not fucking with him? What's going on?
Nah,
I don't
nah,
even be
nah,
reading
nah.
the chat. What happened? Streets not fucking with him?
Nah. They doing good, but I told them to take a pod off. I told them to take a pod off. You know, they're gonna be back. Told them to take a pod off.
Those my guys, of course. But
Shout
yeah,
out to Tony and Strap, bro. They gonna be back. But
yeah.
we are live. I do want to shout out a couple of people before we go ahead and get started with the podcast officially, man. I hope everyone's blessed. And yo, y'all getting a little stingy with that like button, man. Last podcast even got 100. That's crazy. You got like 99.
Damn.
You got 99. Like that's nasty work. 99, J man. I'm one more. Bro.
You know what's crazy? Nintendo could raise their prices to $80. The niggas is buying the game still day one. The like button been free this whole time, and they've been cutting back on hitting that motherfucker. What? Gaming is cooked.
There is 25 people in here at the moment, bro. This should say 25 likes. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You know what I mean? You a regular if you're in here this early, bro. You a regular. It should be 25 likes. Y'all got to do better than that, man. We don't ask for much. Just hit the like button, man. Especially if you watch the pod and enjoy it, bro. I ain't gonna kill you, bro. Hit that shit. All right.
Sir.
DX Taker, what's good? What's good? Pablo the Third in the chat. Alex PSX. Arcade. Who else up in here, man? Max. Ruffle Mutt. Who else up in here? Muck. Rich Homie Sean. Mr. Bayram Plays. What's good? Shout out to everyone who's tuning in and watching the podcast live. Just say what up and we'll give you a shout out real quick. But J Main, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's not waste no time and let's get straight to the business. The most important topic. Most important topic off the rip.
Shook the timeline up.
100 mans versus a gorilla.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! I was about to leave, dog. I was about to hit the disconnect button so fast, dog.
Versus a gorilla.
No fucking way that fucking question has dominated the timeline as much as it has.
That's
I
our
swear
main
to God,
topic.
I feel like I'm
That's our
living in
main
the
topic
Twilight
today,
Zone.
bro.
Didn't we have this conversation on the timeline
Bro,
before? I swear to God.
It happens at least once a year. Once a year this comes
up. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 real quick with my answer. If 100 niggas is not acting pussy, 100 niggas is beating the gorilla the fuck up. Just put it. I'm giving it to the 100. If the 100 niggas rush the gorilla all at once, it's over for the gorilla. That's too many mans over one man. If they on some pussy shit where like 5 or 6 going at him at once, then they're gonna get destroyed. But if 100 people rush that shit at once, it's over. It's over.
You know, like what you're saying is low key facts, but the problem is morale. That's the big thing. A couple of niggas gonna die, J-Man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's a fact. That's a
couple
fact.
of mans are going to die. So,
that's a fact. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they got to be willing to get in there and die for it.
Because of the gorilla, like, take a man's mouth and rip his face open or maul a man's face. If I'm I'm like, hold up. I'm there like, hold up. If he did that to you, what's he gonna do to me? Type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Let me chill out. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. But
yo, fuck you, Lee Green. That's funny as hell. He said J-Main versus 100 games. 100 games got it.
That was fire.
100 games got it. I ain't gonna lie.
That was fire, bro. J-Main won't be able to beat 100 games in like 5 years, bro. That's fact. So that boy won't beat 100 games in 5 years, bro. That's crazy. But you know what? Yo. There's another question posed, piggybacking off this whole conversation. Someone put a 4-pack. They said 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. 20 minutes. You gotta survive for 20 minutes with either a tiger, African tiger, a hippopotamus, a bear, and a gorilla. For 20 minutes. What you picking, J-Man? I gotta know your answer because I had an answer and people are saying I'm tweaking. I want to hear yours. What would you pick?
What would I pick out of others? You gotta survive for 20 minutes?
It's only 20 minutes. What you picking?
I think I'm cooked in all categories. But if I had to pick one,
chat, what you picking?
This is tough because a gorilla, just me, it's over. Like that motherfucker can probably catch me. A tiger, come on, like you ain't outrunning a tiger.
Claws, teeth.
Yeah, bears be fast as hell, and they can climb trees and shit. Depending on the bear, they can climb. Yeah. Claws. See, I want to say the hippo.
Say it with me. Say it with me.
Listen, the hippo. I heard hippos really get busy though.
Yeah, I heard they're
aggressive. I heard hippos.
J-Man.
I heard like hippos kill more people than sharks do. Like hippos got like sharks got.
If you die by a hippo, you're a goofy, bro. Bro, if you die by a hippo, you're a goofy. Straight up.
I heard hippos is fast as fuck. I don't know. Are they fast on land? I don't know.
I heard in water. Okay, so people say a hippo could run as fast as Usain Bolt. J-Main, you know why I picked the hippo? You know why I picked the hippo? Bro, the boy got no claws. He only could hurt you in one way. He only could hurt you in one way. If he bites
your ass.
If he bites my ass or charges me. Bro, man, this is me. When he comes this way, you know what I mean? When he comes this way, I'll survive for 20 minutes. Easily.
Hold on.
Easily.
I'm reading here. They say hippos are about 19 miles per hour on land.
Bro, I will run around in circle. Yo, J-Man, I'll Max Payne dive this way. Dark Souls roll this way. It's not touching me for 20 minutes, bro.
Wait, you say hippos don't got no like lateral movement or something?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you run in a zigzag, they could charge straight. And of course, I'm not gonna run straight like an idiot. When I'm running straight, I'm like, sharp left. You think a hippo could turn as quick as me? Hell no, bro. I'm picking the hippo. 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
That's
the hippo's
funny.
Not killing me. Facts. $100 million, they said too, J-Man. $100 million. If you can survive 20 minutes. And think about it. If there's a giant rock or a tree, what are you going to do if you do Ring Around the Rosie with a hippo? What are you going to do? Think about it. Use your brain for a second. Ring Around the Rosie with a hippo. How's the hippo going to get you, bro? Think about it. If you do Ring Around a Rosie with a tree. Yeah. The man's all touching you. Do that for 20 minutes, you won. The only correct answer is the damn hippo. I'm telling mans. It's the correct answer, bro. I'm letting y'all know.
It would definitely probably be my pick. Probably because I know how all the other ones give it up on land. Like, it's no... And then hippos can do both. Like, water, too. Like, they're fast as hell in water. That's their shit. But on land, if they don't have, like, the quickness of, like, lateral movement, like I know the other ones do, then, yeah, I'm picking the hippo. That's what I'm saying.
The difference with that gorilla, once again, it got agility. You can't...
Yeah.
No hit. You know what I mean? The gorilla's gonna get you. You know what I mean? You can't do that with a tiger either. The bear
Hell
too, you
no.
can't do that. But the hippo, a sharp left, sharp right, easy work. Easy work. Put me in the cage of the hippo. Mr. B, set it up. Set it up. I'm willing to do it. Set it up, Mr. B. $100 million.
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be doing some 100 men versus gorilla shit in real life.
I would jump at the opportunity to survive 20 minutes with a hippo. Mr. Beast, hit me up. I'm down. Sign me up.
I'm paying good money to do that. Okay, so it says to survive a hippo attack, here's some tips. Flee immediately if the hippo opens its mouth to flash its teeth. If you're in the water, move in the opposite direction of where you saw the hippos. If you're on land, find cover such as a tree, rock, or vehicle to get between you and the hippo.
That's what I said. Didn't I not say ring around the Rosie a tree? You won. Easy.
It says make loud noises to gain attention and get on higher ground. I see what you're saying then.
That's what I'm saying. The hippo is the only right answer. I'd rather deal with an aggressive hippo than any of the other of the animals that they put there. The aggressive hippo, I'll deal with that. Easy answer.
Yeah.
Real talk, but that's neither here or there. You know, the conversation has been taking over the fucking timeline, but it's been hella entertaining. Some of the memes, yo, I saw a TikTok. It says, "You're the last man standing versus the gorilla, bro." And the guy ran charging. All you see is his hat fly off, his shirt fly off, his pants fly off. I'm like, damn, what's this hippo doing to you, brother? I mean, what's this gorilla doing to you, bro? I was dying, bro.
Getting some ass.
Yo, you know, I saw the wildest video. You know why I want no smoke of a gorilla, bro? I saw a gorilla shit in his own hand on the timeline. The gorilla shit in his own hand and ate that shit. You want problems with an animal that does that shit? Y'all got it. Y'all got it. This nigga crunched a dookie and ate that shit. What? I want no beef with no gorilla, bro. No beef with no gorilla. Yeah. Facts.
That's like the kids you used to see in school eating their boogers and shit. You don't fuck with them.
Yes sir. So yo, we in here, man. Shout out to the people strolling in, you know what I mean, doing a little cold open and just talking shit, a whole lot of shit. Let me shout out a couple more people. We got Nev in the chat, we got Benji in the chat, we got Jazzy Jefferson, shout out to y'all. We got Leo Soccer number 7, what's good? We got Bless, Gian the Don, AKL Max, Eddie, who else up in here? It's Black Ace. It's going to be a good podcast, man. We're going to have a lot to talk about, man. We're going to have a lot to talk about.
For sure.
A lot of shit's going on, man, for real. So let's not waste no time, and let's get into see what what's everyone been playing, man. J-Main, what you been on, bro?
Yes, sir. I've been on Death Stranding still. I'm actually close to the end. I think I'm on chapter 9. What is it, like 11, maybe 12 chapters or something like that in the game? I know I'm close to the end because I made it to Edge Knot City. So, like, I know that's, like, the main goal of the game and shit like that. But love the game. Game is fire, man. Like, especially when you get, like, certain traversal elements in that game. I mean, if you ain't played it, spoiler alert, but the zip lines, bro, like, the zip lines make life so much easier. And I think the fact that I'm playing it now, I don't know if maybe, like, it made it a better experience now that people have, like, actually left a bunch of shit for me to utilize in the game to get around and extra materials and stuff like that. So I think I remember you saying, like, one of your biggest issues you had was just the feel of, like, the gunplay in the game.
Yeah. That's the only negative for that for me in that game. The game shoots. The shooting mechanics are bad. They're not great.
It doesn't feel smooth. Like, it doesn't feel as, like, you know what I'm saying, like, intuitive as even like something like a Metal Gear Solid or, you know, just a typical third-person shooter. You know what I'm saying? But I know the goal of the game is not really to
kill.
Even like at least to kill.
It's to avoid.
It's to avoid it. But I do like my action in game, so I do make anytime I see like a mule camp, I make that the moment where I just go guns blazing and have some fun with it and stuff like that.
You use non-lethal though, right?
Non-lethal weapons, yeah, for sure. I don't, because you know if you kill them, it causes the craters and shit like that. Yeah, I haven't done that yet, but you know, it's dope. I love the game. I like even like getting caught by the BTs and having to face the catcher and stuff like that, get away or even killing it and stuff like that. It's fun. The story is definitely starting to, you know, they piece together. Like, they throw so much shit at you throughout the story. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is this? What's going on here? How does this happen? How does that happen? Yeah. Eventually things start to get answers and stuff like that. So the more and more you play, but I should have that beat by this week. and then I'm gonna start Clair Obscura 33 because
Oh, okay.
It's been a game I was looking forward to. I just didn't want to
Yeah, me too.
play 2 games at once and shit like that. So I'm
I feel
focusing
you.
on that, and it'll be there when I'm ready.
I feel you. I'm doing the exact same thing right now. I'm focusing on one game at a time, bro. I'm not like,
Yeah.
trust me, I'm very interested in Expedition 33. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
interested. Ever since I seen it, I thought this game's gonna be dope. Just because we all want, well, at least me personally, I'm like, damn, it would have been nice to see Final Fantasy make it like a AAA flashy turn-based RPG like that. And this is pretty much what people have been asking for from the Final Fantasy franchise for a while. You know, at least a certain demographic. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna be playing that, but I'm focusing on one game, and that one game is Oblivion, bro. Oblivion
Remastered.
Bro. That game is so good, bro. That game is so good. It really is.
You beat it before, right?
Yeah. It's just it's just a fun experience. And yes, when you look at it like it's combat, you know, versus some modern games and stuff like that, it does lack. But you know where the game shines, obviously, the world building, the characters, you know, the characters and stuff like that, the storylines with these quest
storyline, the missions and stuff like that.
Dope.
Fire.
You know what I mean? Just all of that other stuff. So yeah, the melee combat is not just the most intuitive. It's not like I'm playing like Dying Light type of melee combat, but it's just a fun game. It's just an addicting game just to go through the quest lines, and the characters are great. I just love it. I've actually I transferred over. I was initially playing on the PlayStation.
You gave up the trophies?
No, yeah. It's not even that like it was hard. I can get it, but my black ass went and bought a new monitor, so.
You got to max it out.
Yeah. So I actually bought the world's first 4K ultra wide monitor. I think the native resolution is like 5126 or some shit like that. 5126 by 2160. I have to look it up. I might be off on that, but pretty much it's a 5K 2K ultra wide monitor. It's the first. I think it's the only one that's available on the market. It's a 45-inch.
What brand is it?
LG's LG Ultra Gear. They make incredible displays, you know, with the TVs, monitors. They're
for sure.
They're incredible. Yo, bro, when I tell you that this is with the amount of money I paid, it should be the greatest. But this is the greatest fucking ultra wide monitor I've ever used in my fucking life, bro. This ultra wide is incredible. You know,
and it's OLED?
It's OLED as well. 165 hertz. All the jazz, bro. It's incredible, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, looking at some like the specs and stuff.
It's incredible. I have nothing but high praise for this monitor since I've been using it. Low-key, when I play games on it, feels like it feels like I'm in the theater or some shit. Like, it's that cinematic, bro. You know what I mean? Also, with the 45-inch, it's my biggest ultra-wide monitor, too, so that I've
what was the size of your last one?
Okay, so I went from an Alienware 38-inch to an LG OLED 34-inch, so I got used to the smaller size. Now I'm on a 45 OLED. It's really fucking good, bro. It's really good.
Nice.
And it is a huge difference in resolution. And you know what's nice is I'm bringing this monitor home thinking that like my 4090 is about to
get some work, get worked out.
Yeah, I'm thinking my
pushing more pixels
is about to make me depressing. But low key, the games I've been playing so far, bro, with all the technology, with this like the AI sampling with the like DLSS
frame generation and all of that.
Bro, this shit, I'm cool, bro. This shit's been there. Forza runs great. Everything I've played so far runs great. So, once again, as like your boy said, I ain't buying the 5090. I will be there for the 6090. So, and this monitor, I'm buying the monitor. That's my splurge of the year. The monitor is my splurge of the year. Then I'm waiting 2 years. I'm going to get the 6090. Then I'm going to get the best out of this monitor within the 6090 drops. You know what I mean? So, I'm very happy with this purchase. It's really dope, man. If you guys are interested in ultra-wide monitors, got a little spare coins, you know what I mean? Definitely look into this one. But you definitely going to need a stronger... You're definitely going to need a strong GPU, though. To really
to maximize its potential.
Yeah.
Nice.
Been playing Oblivion. I'm pretty much almost caught up to where I was on the PlayStation side of things.
That don't have cross save? I could have sworn I thought that had cross save.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. We
What
don't
game
have
was
no.
that then?
I wish it did. I wish it did, but there's no sort of sign up, right? There's no sort of sign up
Yeah,
because
like
you
a
would need,
Bethesda
yeah,
type
you
of
would need
sign
like
up.
A Bethesda type of login. Because I believe like games like The Witcher and Cyberpunk have like cross progression, but you have to sign
Mhm.
in with like the CD Project Red shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it lets
yeah,
you access
yeah.
your save. So Bethesda doesn't have anything. It doesn't offer anything like that for at least this
Well,
game. So
did Monster Hunter have it? Because I could have
no,
sworn a
no.
recent game that came out had. Okay,
Games
I'm
be doing
tripping,
it though,
man.
but not
Yeah, for
Monster Hunter or
sure.
this game. Not Monster Hunter or this
Okay.
game have been doing it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm focusing on Oblivion, and I will not play nothing else until I probably look.
Beat it.
I'm trying to turn a new leaf, bro.
Yeah,
This is very disgusting. This is very disgusting of me. But honestly, you guys already know that I kind of got the itch for trophies and achievements as of lately. If you've been following me, you guys know that I got the itch. You know what I mean? I'm trying to J-Main transition into getting Steam achievements. I almost threw up in my mouth for a second. I mean, I almost just threw up. I'm transitioning to being a completionist on Steam. Oh my god! But we're gonna see how that goes, bro.
What do you think? Like, what's the like for you? What's the biggest difference between
You know what I don't like?
the
You
two?
don't like? Apparently, there's avenues to cheat it in the sense of programs that can unlock achievements for you. Number one, so that just like
Oh,
it
okay.
takes the credibility out of just shit. That's number
Yeah.
one. Number two, it's just not drippy. You know what I mean? It's not like getting the trophy on PlayStation. It's just not
You don't
drippy.
get that ping.
You don't get that. You know what I mean? You just get that little doo notification like your friends online type shit. Like it's no
Yeah.
different from the notification when your friends
Ain't no
are
way to
online.
like mod that type of shit. Like,
I don't know,
and
man.
get like some unique sounds and stuff like
I
that.
know,
Unique
man.
pop-ups. PC
But
so customizable. You would think they had like
I
some
know,
options
bro.
for
The
you to
funny thing
play
is,
with.
the Epic Game Store actually does it better. At least it pops up almost like a console like at the top of the screen
Yeah.
and shit. The Epic Game
Yeah.
Store does it better. I don't know why Steam does that shit so shitty. I don't know, man. But I really do enjoy like doing everything I can in the game these days, especially when it comes to achievement lists. I find that very entertaining, and I feel like after I'm all said and done, like I really got my money's worth from what I spent too. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel like I got my money's worth. And hey, man, I think the way we're gonna talk about it, but the way the game prices are looking these days, we all need to be 100% gamers at this point in time. You know what I mean? Save a little.
Spend
coins,
time with
bro.
your purchase and really think about what you buy this
shit. Yeah. We all need to be 100%
out there.
You know what I mean? The game prices that's happening, which we're gonna talk about just now. But yeah, that's all I've been playing, man. So I guess let's get into let's get into some of the topics. And I guess let's not waste no time. Let's just jump into the main topic of the night, bro. You know what I mean? We'll talk about some of the other shit a little bit later. Let's talk about the main topic. So man, you'll introduce it for the people, man.
Yes, sir. So, of course, most of you already know, but we are here to discuss it in detail. Microsoft, after, coming out with a pretty decent quarterly report, they had to hit us with the bad news, of course. You know what I'm saying? Whenever a company gives you some good news and some shit that's going well, just, always prepare for the bad side to come next. PlayStation is very great at doing shit like that. So, Microsoft had let it be known first thing in the morning that they are raising prices on Xbox consoles, accessories, and eventually them goddamn games will see $80 price points like we have seen introduced by Nintendo, and most likely the industry will follow suit. I have a breakdown here. This is a worldwide increase. But as an American, I only care about the US. Yep. And for the record, we've seen Series S, the 512 gigabyte, go up $80. The Series S 1 terabyte is going up. I think that's $80 too. Yeah. So Series S.
Give us the price before and after. I think that would be nice.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Give us the
okay.
Before
So
and after.
The Series S 512 gigabyte was $379.99. No, excuse me, was $299.99. It is going up to $379.99 American. Sheesh. 1 terabyte price was $349.99. It's going up to $429.99.
That costs more than the regular PlayStation right now, by the way.
Yeah, so
that's what that costs more than or is it the same or about the same?
The digital PlayStation is $399 with the Astrobot bundle. So
1 terabyte Series S costs more.
costs more.
As of right now, that's nasty work.
Yeah, that's
nasty
crazy.
work.
But it don't stop
Nasty
there
work.
because, as you can see, the Series X also has a price increase. The digital version went from $449 to $549. The Series X with the disk drive from $499 to $600 for the Series X.
Jesus
And then the
Christ.
2 TB joint with the sprinkles on it went from $599 to $729.99.
Hold on, Jamie.
What
Let
the
me stop you
fuck?
for a second. First of all, why is this console still available? Wasn't the Series X 2 TB Galaxy Black a special limited edition console? Why is it still available? That's number one.
Ain't nobody buying that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, whose bright idea was to raise this console's price? Yo, this was supposed to be a limited edition, special edition.
Right.
Pre-order, 30th anniversary type edition. Why is it still widely available? Number one. That's my first question. Number two,
That
why
shit
the hell
was
would they raise the price?
$600. Yeah. I mean, we all know we're gonna get to it, but we know what these price increases come from.
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a real conversation about it because a lot of people are pointing fingers, and I think it's a combination of a lot of things, but we won't get into it.
Right.
Let's get into some of the other things that are gonna
That
cause
changes.
more. That change, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like the controllers, at least the normal controllers, like the core controller and then like a color, is no change. So $64.99 American, $69.99 for the color. The special edition controllers are going up $10 from $69.99 to $79.99. Limited edition controllers are going up from $79.99 to $89.99.
Jesus Christ.
The Elite Controller Core Edition is no change. It's still $149.99. And the Elite Controller Series 2 Full Edition is going up $20 from $179.99 to $199.99. Stereo headsets, no change, still $64.99. And the wireless headset is going up $10 from $109.99 to $120.99. And lastly,
Christ.
they said that you'll start to see some of their first party games go up to $80 this holiday. So assuming shit like Call of Duty will probably be like the first one to usher in the $80 games
100%.
this year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the listing. But prices going up across the board. UK, Europe. There's a whole listing for a bunch of different countries. So get in tune with your local listings and see what what the damage might be for you if you interested in picking up Xbox hardware and accessories and stuff like that.
All right. So J-Main,
Woo!
everyone is pointing fingers. What is the reason for this, bro? What do you think is the reason for this change? You know what I mean? What's the reason for this change for real? What do you think?
I think the big reason for the change is companies don't want to shoulder the burden. Businesses don't want to shoulder the burden of what we're seeing going on with the tariffs. A lot of these products, game consoles, accessories, and shit like that, get manufactured in China, which we've seen the tariff war going on with them, where the percentages is through the roof at this point. Like it don't even make sense to even like ship or trade with that country because the percentage of tariffs back and forth is insane. So if that's where they're mainly manufacturing their products, then listen, this is a business. Businesses aren't going to then be like, damn, I feel bad for the consumer. Let us, take the hit. That way we can still make these products affordable for them. No. They want their profits. They want their end of the year bonuses. They want to be able to buy houses and yachts and golf courses and shit like that. That's just what they want to do for business. That's how businesses stay business. Like you ever hear like how the rich stay rich? It's like that's exactly what they do. They put the burden of the cost of the product on the consumer. Now, is that pro consumer? Obviously not. It's obviously not pro consumer. For us, that shit sucks. That shit is terrible. And it's bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like looking at an Xbox console that's already struggling to sell. Now they got to put higher prices on these consoles. Like, who's going to buy that shit? Like, people weren't already buying it now. Now you're just making it even more unappealing for people to buy. So, it's people want to point at Nintendo doing it with the game prices and stuff like that. Now, But it's everybody's going to be doing it, and I think it's because they just don't want to shoulder the burden
Yeah.
of what these products cost to manufacture and trade for to get them over to these countries and states and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I don't know
So,
why like it's easy. I feel like that's like a cheap explanation. Like, oh, Nintendo raised their price of their game to $80, so now everything's going up. Like once again, like
mm,
you broke it down exactly how I would have broke it down. Like if we listen, I'm not no economist or but I listen to the news and see
mm,
what's going on in the world and stuff like that, bro. And this is actual change that directly affects us. Like what's going on in the world legit directly affects us. There's sometimes, it doesn't matter who's in position, who's in the top seat in the administration, and like we
right.
don't even notice like drastic change like this. But this trade war is a direct effect of this. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Corporate greed is a part of it, right? Because just like you
it
said,
is.
these guys don't want to obviously take a hit. Just because, yeah, we can afford to absorb the cost doesn't mean that they want to. It's about
They want
always
to,
keeping
right?
it in the greens and always selling more and more.
Hmm.
Look at these companies, even when they sell this amount of copies, or like even like Square Enix, a perfect example, every game that they dropped that we think that did fantastic, we just sold 5 million, They have a reporter saying, shit, it wasn't enough.
It's
How
not
many times
enough.
it's not enough, right? How many times have
Few
they done
solid
that?
sales, but it's not
It's not
enough.
enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys always want more and more. So of course they're not gonna be like, because of the current, economics of the world and inflation, and the trade war with the terrorists. They're not gonna be like, you know what? We should just hold this cost and let's do a solid for the people. That's never gonna happen. Like we have to live in reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, I think tariffs in China that the U.S. has imposed on China is up to 145%. I think there's some nuance
That's
with
the
that.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is crazy. That means like with each unit coming over is subjected to that tariff, right? Each fucking console, right? So Microsoft doing this makes obviously sense in the sense of all their accessories and the hardware is going up in price because guess what? All that shit is made in China. They're not made in America, guys. It's made in
Yeah.
China, right? So
And I know that's like apparently
mm,
the goal of it is to get the manufacturing to be
good luck.
done in America. But
Good
that
luck.
I think that goal is so far fetched and it's not something that's
Good
going
luck.
to happen even within the next 4 years. So it's
Yeah,
like,
good luck.
why fuck us over now for something that might even be reversed in the next administration?
I
It's like,
know.
come, I don't
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah,
like
yeah.
I get it for the long haul, but I just don't think these administrations be on the same page with shit to the point where you're gonna piss off a whole bunch of people and shit's just gonna flip to the other side and then shit's gonna revert back
Yeah.
to,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
that's
Like just the other.
that's politics. That's why nothing shit never gets done. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
always
because it's just a back and forth.
It's just back and forth.
It's
And
two
no one's on the
extremes.
same. Yeah,
Every 4 years, it just fucking
yeah,
flips. It's like
yeah.
nothing's
And
gonna get done.
one wants one wants to pass a possible positive law in here. Then the other side, just because they're on the other side, they have to step on that, make it challenging. That's
Because they want people to vote for
politics.
them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
politics.
it's like the
you know what I
exact
mean?
opposite.
That's why shit like progression is just so slow because no one's ever on the same page. That's why getting shit done takes so much effort and so long just to get something
Yeah.
done, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, reason why I seen some people saying like, yo, then are trying to understand this like why isn't it just going up in America then? Because Canada, we're not imposing no 145% tariffs on China. Why are we paying more? But the thing is, the reason why it's an international and a global price increase is to save y'all asses over there. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
think about it. If they said, you know what, if the company like Microsoft said, you know what, this is only happening in America, so we're just gonna target America, like just keep it here, right? We're gonna keep it here.
Yeah, keep the increase in America.
You think that increase would only be $100, J mate? You think that increase
Hell
would be
no.
only $100 for a Series X? You know what that increase?
Hell
We might get
no.
that Jack $1,000 console. The reason why they make it international is obviously to spread the costs around. So they make
Right.
everybody pay a little bit more. They're gonna up everything. Now
To
they're
take
gonna
the
up
hit
the games.
of-
Yeah, to
Yep,
take the hit
yep.
of this. They're gonna up the game
Yep.
prices. They're gonna up it in Canada, Europe, Australia, everywhere. They're just gonna make everybody suffer. So yeah, American politics and what's going on in the administration, since you guys are like some of the biggest consumers on planet Earth, if the biggest consumer on planet Earth, it affects everybody. You know what I mean? Y'all,
Yep.
that's why there's a reason why everyone pays attention to American news versus like other shit. You know what I mean? Because it legit affects everybody. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know why people are trying to. I've seen like comments on on Twitter, people trying to make it seem like it's not a tariff thing. Once again, corporate greed is there. but that's expected. You know what I mean? They're always gonna. They don't want to take losses. They want gains. You know. So that's
if it's not a
there.
tariff thing, then why is it like the way it's lining up? Like, why is it happening all now? Like, we've been hearing, they raised the games prices to $70 before, but like previous generations, shit would go down. Like when shit is deep into the generation, it will go down. Why is it going up now?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Because I feel like there's just so much factors. They're saying the cost of even developing a game it's extremely high. I don't know whether it be salaries for the employees or just keeping the lights on in the buildings and just the overall economic climate. Like me and you,
budgets and stuff like that.
We have to pay shit. Like we see rising prices everywhere. So we're not the only ones who are subjected to those rising prices. Companies are subjected to that in many different ways. So yeah, at the end of the day, just unfortunate that we get the consumer just gets passed on the cost. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And they're not gonna take a loss for us, even though they make all this kind of money. Like you said, Microsoft had they reported that they earn more. They're up, right, in certain aspects and like what content and services and shit like that. They're up, right? But they're not gonna take the hit. That's not how this shit works. They're not gonna take the hit, even though they probably can absorb the hit. Isn't Microsoft $1 trillion company? Pretty sure if they want to absorb the hit for like 5 years, they could, but that's not how these companies got rich. You know what I mean?
Right. That's not how you stay in the green, and however they call it. So
so it's unfortunate that obviously with anything, once upon a time a fucking soda cost 50 cents. I saw an ad for a house cost $9,000 for a whole fucking house back in the day. Like with anything, fucking things go up in price, inflation, all that shit. So it's a bad situation, bro. It's a bad situation. That's all.
We also see the conversation too about like how game prices were like back in the 90s and stuff like that. Like people say, oh, we were paying almost like $70-$80, if not more, for games back then. But I also too look at like how much was everything else in life back then as well. Yeah. Like the cost
how big
of
was
gas.
Gaming too, and how big was gaming there too? It was more niche than it was now too. It's a lot of different factors and nuances in that conversation, right?
Yeah, because like game prices being high is one thing, but everything is high right now. Like compare, like if you said go back to the 90s when game prices might have been $70-$80 then, what was a movie ticket price then compared to what it is now? You see what I'm saying? Like I know these are all like entertainment and not necessities, but I'm just saying like you were paying maybe $70 for a game and like $5 for a movie ticket, whereas now we're paying like $70 for a game and then $20 for a movie ticket. Or like, you know what I mean? You go out to a restaurant and the prices there is way higher than what you was paying at a restaurant then. Like everything else is also expensive. Even the necessities are also up. So it's like in addition to game prices going up, everything else is still up as well. That's why when people make that comparison, like back then, it's like I feel like everything else was reasonable for what you might have been making versus now it's like, damn, I'm making what I'm making, but everything else is high. So
exactly. Like wages hasn't caught up with cost of living. Type shit, you know what I mean? Like,
and some companies try to help out, but if you just do a minimum wage, hell no, it hasn't caught up.
It hasn't caught up. Yeah, that's like the problem. So this is definitely like an economy issue. You know what I mean? And for me personally, once again, don't get it wrong. These people are in the business of making money. If they're going to take advantage, they're going to take advantage. Because even if all of these tariffs, say like, okay, some time goes on, Trump flip-flops every fucking second. One day there's tariffs, one day there's a 90-day pause, 30-day pause. We're doing this. Yeah. No, we're bringing it back down to this. Like, oh, we're making exemptions now for smartphones. And, the funny thing is gamers got super fucked because the Trump administration, right? They saw what was going to happen with the prices of iPhones, the prices of computer parts. And guess what they did, J-May? They made an exemption list of certain products from China that won't be subjected to these outlandish tariffs, right? But guess what wasn't part of the list? Video games. Video games was not part of the list. So Trump is literally anti-video game, bro. You know what I mean? That was not part of the list. Why didn't you add gaming? He didn't add no PlayStation, the consoles. He didn't add no controllers. None of that shit was to the list. You know what I mean? So it's just a bad situation right now with the world's economics, and that's clearly just a result of this because these guys don't want to absorb the cost. So we're gonna have to
Yeah.
absorb the cost.
And I think
of
like
this shit.
if for instance a deal, say like when China happens and tariffs do come back down to reasonable things, yeah, these companies and that's where you will probably see the corporate greed. They probably won't reverse the price of these consoles and shit.
Yeah.
They're not gonna go back and be like,
Exactly.
you know what, now that the tariffs and the economy is good, let's just go back to what it was. No, they're gonna keep it what it is, especially if people are paying for it. Now the only time that they might what they will end up doing is if people are not buying it at that price, it'll go on sale quicker. It'll go on sale quicker. Prices will come down faster. So if a game is $80 and you know everything is back to normal and people aren't buying that 80, that game will go on sale like
quicker,
2 or 3 weeks after the shit came out.
Yeah.
Or a console, but it would be 600 for an Xbox. It might be like more frequent deals and stuff like that, or bundles and shit like that. You'll see the company do, but the main MSRP, they're not changing that. Hell no, because that's corporate greed right there.
Yeah,
but
because now they know they can get away at selling it at that price. You know what I mean?
Right. And the people that are gonna buy it are gonna buy it. But you know what I'm saying? If it's not enough to get them profit, or if they're losing money and because shit is sitting on shelves, then they're gonna bring it down so they can get the shit out the factories and stuff like that, off the shelves.
Exactly. And it's just a mess, man. It's just a mess. Right now, I did see, I saw a mixture. I saw a couple. Obviously, people are gonna use this to take advantage to kick it. Microsoft and Xbox is back in a little bit. But I was warning PlayStation fanboys to slow down. You know what I mean? Slow down. Don't get too y'all can't help it. Y'all gonna do y'all little trolley thing. But if I were y'all, slow down. You know what I mean? No, don't pop off too much. I don't know if we came and talked about it on the podcast. But even not too long ago, PlayStation raised the price of PlayStation Plus in fucking Canada. So something nutty.
Yeah.
Did you see that? It was nothing nutty.
I seen that.
Low-key,
I think we did talk about that for a little bit.
Low-key, PlayStation has been raising prices just everywhere but the States. You've been paying attention of whether it be content and services and like the PlayStation Plus subscriptions, consoles in some region. Like they've been increasing the price. So it seems like they're trying to find ways not yet increase the price in obviously the biggest market, United States of America. But that's what I'm saying. We already read articles that PlayStation has taken certain precautions to stockpile consoles, right? So they can offset some of the tariff costs. They don't have to like implement it. But like, guys, man, it's only been like 100 days that homeboy been in office, bro. Like 105 days or some shit like since homeboy been in office, bro.
It's madness.
I don't know, man. We got some time left, man. So
it's gonna be a long 4 years.
It's gonna be a long 4 years, yo. So I won't be shocked. I will not be shocked if we end up seeing a U.S. price increase for hardware on the PlayStation side of things as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know how much they stockpiled and how much they can hold off on that, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it seems like something that's inevitable right now because of a Series S, 1 terabyte costs more than a PlayStation 5, which is fucking nuts.
And that the Series X with sprinkles
I'm
costing more than a PS5 Pro.
I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
Well, we can hit Google or someone in the chat could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the PS5 is also manufactured in China, or did they move to Vietnam right now?
No, I think it's mainly manufactured in China.
It's still manufactured in China, isn't it not? I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yes.
Let's just confirm. I don't know if they end up moving their shit.
PS5 is primarily manufactured in Japan and China. Have facilities operated by Sony and partners like Foxconn.
Okay. So manufacturing both places, then I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't be too shocked to see something very similar coming out of the PlayStation side of things in the near future. So.
And shit, they can't wait to do $80 games because PlayStation be the loudest.
They've been trying to do that. They've been trying to do that for a while.
They be the loudest ones. Like, yo, games is getting expensive. Like, shit is too much. Like, you hear Sean Layden every damn week. He on another podcast talking about it's not sustainable. Oh, they can't wait to do $80 games on PlayStation. I don't know if it's gonna happen this year because I think Ghost and maybe Death Stranding have already been like announced for pre-orders and stuff. So I think 70 might be locked in for those, but 2026 and beyond, shit. Wolverine, $80, buddy.
Shout out to Perel. He says these tariff stuff is a big reach. I don't know why.
Brother.
I don't know why people say that. That's been an ongoing thing that like I've seen on the timeline that people believe like tariffs is not the cause, not the reason of this at all. Why the prices are increasing.
So they just all decided that they want to do this at the same time as it costing more to bring these things over to or manufacture and bring them over to at least to the States and other countries. Like
are these consoles are magically created? Like, yo, bro, like they have to.
I don't understand what else evidence they need that the tariff is causing things.
There's a logistic process. There's a manufacturing process. Like they don't just appear from thin air. That like, yo, someone got to make these joints. And the place where they're making the joints, just to ship it in America, is subjected to a crazy ass tariff. So who's gonna eat that cost? It's just a simple who's gonna eat that cost.
Right.
The company's not gonna eat that cost. We're gonna eat that cost. That's how it goes.
They're never gonna eat the cost.
That's how it goes. So I don't understand why people like are trying to make it like, yo, this is not a tariff thing. It is a tariff thing. That's why the console costs more.
Shit, my wife got emails from all them boutiques she be shopping at online, Shein and all them other fashion places. They telling her prices is going up because they probably manufacture all their clothing and shit like that in China. Everything is going up because of this shit. It's not just video games. So I don't understand. Like y'all think every company in the world is like going up and everything just for corporate greed? Like everybody's not fucking a shitty $1 trillion, $1 billion corporation. Some of these people don't have the luxury of like having bad customer service and bad consumer practices to even like do shit like this.
Even small business that get shit made in China sent over are affected by this. Like a lot of people are affected by this. I don't know y'all have been watching the news or like or paying attention to this shit. So it is definitely the current climate is the reason why these price increases. Like once again, why game prices go up? Why y'all keep on saying prices have increased before? Because guess what? Once again, everything goes up over time. Haven't you not noticed? Like, yo, once again, rent, hydro, all this shit be going up, right? So obviously they factor all those in, employee salary, all of this shit factors in why they want to increase a price or something, you know what I mean? While they want to make money too. They also want to increase it to the point that, yo, we making a profit as well. Like, yo, I think there's a little bit more to it, you know what I mean? That just to get a game out that, that we enjoy, there's a process to it that I feel like people are not really taking into account, you know what I mean? And there's probably people who will explain, more professionals in the industry that can explain this way better than me. Like look at Z, like I was like reading some tweets from Z Huge and he was breaking this shit down pretty well, you know what I mean? And he's
I follow him too.
Yeah, who is a little bit has the expertise in this area, you know what I mean, and the logistics of getting the game out and stuff like that. And he was breaking it down. And once again, he pointed to the current climate in the world right now is a direct cause for some of this shit that's happening right
Did you see that tweet that he had in 2019 where actually all three the big three got together and wrote a joint letter to oppose that. I seen you proposed tariff. That was back in 2019. Yeah. 2019 they wrote a letter to the Trump administration saying that, and that was just an increase by 25%. The tariffs that he was going to put on, that he was proposing for the video game consoles. No, I'm sorry. I don't even know what the percentage was, but it says Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have written a joint letter to oppose proposed tariffs from the Trump administration. Tariffs on video game consoles are currently set to increase 25%. 96% of video game consoles imported to U.S. were from China. This is in 2019. So if that was just a propose, then what do you think is the case now that it actually is in effect?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and people think it has nothing to do with the tariffs.
Yeah, they just say, "Oh,
what the fuck?" They were actually trying to stop the tariffs back in 2019 to prevent shit like this from happening.
Yeah, they want to keep. Yeah, they want
to keep it consumer friendly.
A little bit, reasonable. They want to keep it more
reasonable, like
at least reasonable. They're trying to make money. Once again,
we're gonna beat you over the head, but we want to put it to a point where you're like.
Yeah,
I guess they don't want to put it to the point like fuck no, I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like obviously we we can't price out your consumers, right? You can't be like just because of corporate greed, let's just make this cost $1,000 and we are just gonna run out and buy it. No, shit don't work like that. There's been products that have come out way too expensive. Does anyone remember this device called the Apple Vision Pro?
The Vision Pro.
Do you remember? Yo, you know what was the craziest thing? I saw that on my YouTube thumbnail. I'm like, yo, I forgot this thing even existed.
Forgot that
shit.
Yes.
I forgot the Apple Vision Pro was actually a product because a nigga was so priced out of that. I can't even think about wanting something like that.
You deleted it from your consciousness.
I didn't even know. Yo, bro, that shit was like 3 bands. Who got money for that? For a Vision Pro?
It still is 3 bands.
A Generation 1 fucking AR VR device, bro. Who got that? Who got the 3 bands? That shit. Honestly, if I didn't see that thumbnail, I might have forgot that shit. I think someone made a video like 1 year later or some shit. I might have forgot that shit even existed. You know what I mean? So you can't. So there's a way. Yo, if they go too far, people are gonna be priced out and the product will flop. So obviously these companies want to keep it in the realm where people are willing to accept it, even if it's on the higher end side, or you know what I mean. If it's on the lower side, people are willing to accept it. So, I don't know what else to say, man. Hey, go watch some YouTube videos about what's going on in the world if you really believe like tariffs and the economy is not a contributing factor to some of the things that we're seeing in the gaming industry right now, especially with the prices and stuff like that. It's definitely a factor why shit is going up. You know what I mean? They're not.
So you think
they're not going to keep it down because they want to make money and they don't want to take a loss. So yeah, that's what tariffs do. They pass it on to the consumer. If you watched any expert out of all the videos I watched by this expert said that they said who feels the tariffs? People like me and you feel the tariffs because the company is not going to eat the cost. They're just going to pass the cost down. They always say, yo, tariffs just gets people to pass the cost down, and I think we're seeing that. That's why hardware is up. You know what I mean? That's why hardware.
Do you think? By this holiday season, we see, because it's weird. Like with the Xbox, like we're in the same generation, and prices are going to go from 60 to 70 and then 70 to 80. Like it ain't even going to be like a start of a new generation for Xbox or maybe even PlayStation, and we're going up to 80. Do you think that's going to be a industry-wide thing by this holiday season, or do you think it's only going to be like Nintendo and Xbox for now, maybe even PlayStation?
Listen, the $80 game situation, I think they've been trying to increase the price of games. You know what I mean? Like I think,
just because of development costs.
I don't even think that's like I'll even concede to that for those people who are saying that's not a tariff thing. I might even concede to that. I think honestly these guys been trying to raise the price of a game if they could. Like once again, Jamie, we've seen articles of this, that. We're always hearing complaints from these companies about the how much it costs to make a game. We've been seeing that so much. So I think they've been trying to do this, like raise the price of a game. So I think obviously the price of a game going up, it was kind of inevitable to a certain degree, tariffs or no tariffs. I personally believe that. I think over time, they were probably gonna jack up the price eventually because they've been kind of looting. Every time we hear someone retire from the industry, whether it be like a Sean Layden or one of them other mans, they're always
Shuhei too. Saying it.
Yeah, we always hear them saying that, like, yo, they trying to increase the price along the lines of like, yo, mans are, they want to increase the price of the games, or games cost so much to make. So how else do you make up for that? You increase the price of the fucking game. Like, so I think
increase the price, or you provide the product to more consumers, as we see with like PlayStation now, embracing PC, Xbox, embracing PC,
so you have to sell
play
more
anywhere
copies.
type shit.
Yes,
right.
Sell more copies, sell more devices. So that's
the thing with Nintendo is we thought they might be exempt because their games were still selling so much, like. And being exclusive to that platform, but even they're like, nah, we gotta go up too.
I think that's them just coming to the industry standard. You know what I mean? Like for a while they sold Switch games a little bit cheaper than Xbox and thing, but obviously I think we kind of all expected that they're gonna follow the new industry standard. While I doubt games are gonna really cost for them much more for them to make, especially with the style of games that they do make. Right? That's them just we're just jumping to industry standard type shit. You know what I mean? But
I really do wish we had like more information about the breakdown of costs of game development, just to the public and stuff like that, because I don't know, like on the surface level, you look at a Nintendo game and it's like, ain't no fucking way like this game costs more than $50 million to make.
The Last of Us to make.
Yeah, or like it's like it's no way. Like, why are you charging $70-$80 for it? You know what I'm saying? But that's only on the surface level. We don't know what the real numbers are and like what they pay or what they. I don't know. I don't know if that's public or anything like that. But I would really like to know, like, just to compare and see like, okay, are they tripping or is it really like, you know what I mean, as
I think
expensive?
as gamers who we how we observe the industry through our lens, like obviously we can look at a game and we can tell like obviously if a game like Assassin's Creed has 1,000 fucking developers, whether they be outsourced or in-house studios, obviously to pay for all these contractors, the developers, is gonna cost a lot of fucking money to make the game, right? So I guess you can, I think you can use that to kind of judge the production, at least like the scale of a production. Like like how much bodies even working on this game? When is a game with a lot of bodies obviously going to cost a lot of money because a lot of bodies also working on the game. So I don't know with these Nintendo games because when it comes to Nintendo's and their first party and their studios, like for some reason that should be like a mystery type shit sometimes. I don't know who the fuck working on what outside of a few big names and how much is on per team and stuff like that. We don't know if it's a team of 100 goons making the game, 50 goons, 500 goons, or Assassin's Creed type shit, like 1,000 people working on this type of game. You know what I mean? So we don't know. But I think stuff like that is we can use to see like, that game must cost a lot too, because look how much hands, and obviously just the production of it. Does it got celebrities in it? Look at the animations, like the animation work, right? Like the scale,
mocap and all of that.
Yeah, all of that shit.
Voice acting and shit like that.
That shit costs money, bro. That's work. That's somebody got to do, right? That's work that an employee has to do. So,
for sure.
What I mean, when you play a Nintendo game like Super Mario, you play like a Super Mario Wonder, like. Yeah, like come on, like it's a good game. Don't get me wrong, I'm saying it's a good game, but like the type of work that goes into that can't be the same that the type of work that goes into a GTA, Last of Us 2. Like it can't be. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is always interesting to see. But man, you know what my prediction is? Right
What's
now,
up?
people, when this happened, people are like, but Ghost of Yotai was perfect. $70. Death Stranding is still like it's the regular price.
I just realized Ghost of Yotai pre-orders don't go live until tomorrow, so they actually still have a chance.
They got time. You know what my prediction is? You know what my prediction? They don't touch those. I think Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotai don't get that $80 bump from PlayStation. You know what my willing to bet is? Their next wave of heavy hitter software will probably be that price. That's my bet. Like Intergalactic. I'm down to put money on that. I think that will launch at it as the new $80 quota or a standard price point. I do think so. I think this wave they're gonna let it go by, but the next wave, whether it be Santa Monica's next huge AAA game or Naughty Dog's Intergalactic, I think that's
or Insomniac.
I think that's gonna be the new pricing will kick into effect, because that's also. In a PR, if you're looking at a PR perspective too, that's also smart too. If you're gonna do something in the increased price, you gotta at least show the consumer something that they're so impressed with that they might be down to bite the bullet. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if Nintendo decided to do that $80 price point joint with like a Kirby game? No disrespect to Kirby.
Oh hell
like,
no!
I think there'll be a way more crash out, like a bigger crash out.
For sure.
But I think it's a reason why they did it with Mario Kart. It's a reason.
It's the best selling fucking game.
Yo, bro, that shit sold 60 something million copies. They know that people love this. They know people love this, so they know that if they're going to do it, this is our time to do it, because...
And that's why we thinking Microsoft's going to do it with Call of Duty, because that's like always like one of the best-selling games of the year and shit like that whenever it comes out. So, yeah.
And Call of Duty will be that, and it will be successful. Because once again, people buy the high-end edition of Call of Duty. That game will be successful. That game will be successful at that $80 price point. Like, we got to be real with ourselves. There's a couple of IP that exists that... At that price point, we already know it's not gonna stop nothing. NBA 2K is another one. That's not gonna stop nothing. People spend way more money. Like if you're an avid 2K player that does the My Player, My Park, you spend more. You probably spend over $200 on that game, probably even more. You know what I mean? Doing the whole virtual coin situation. What's it called? FIFA with the whole create your own team mode with the card little system that they got. All of that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Those guys spend a lot of money. So you think they're going to be priced out by the standard of price of those games going to $80, you're joking. Those games are still going to be some of the top selling games of the year. Madden as well, Call of Duty, you know what I mean? So I think those games will do fine. I think those games will do fine.
So big elephant in the room. Topic of conversation every time we hear about these game prices. GTA 6. Like now
it's all about confirmed that game is gonna be. It's all about confirmed that game is gonna definitely not gonna launch at a standard price. I'd be shocked, J-Main. At this point in time, if Take-Two out of all people, let's not forget Take-Two ushered in the not Sony. People accredit it to Sony, but it was actually Take-Two that ushered in the $70 game for Americans. You know, it was Take-Two. They were the first ones to announce. Whether I forgot what game was it. Was it was like a sports title, was it not?
It was a sports title, yeah, because their games come out usually like September, October, even before the new generation starts. So they had to have their prices out there first.
Yup. Take-Two is the one that actually introduced that price point. Then obviously with the PS5 games, then PlayStation had that same price point when their first party games were dropping. But so I do believe that GTA. There's no chance that GTA launches at a regular price point at this point in time. Ain't no way. They're saying that game costs $2 billion to make. It ain't no way. They're gonna. I don't think they're gonna make it over anything. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's just gonna be the new $80 shit.
What if it's not okay? What if there's no version that's over $80, but what they do is they split up the online and the story, like the campaign, to where you got to buy both of those separately, right? Ooh. So they make the online version maybe like 70. And then they make the campaign 80 or some shit like that, like 60 or 80 or something like that. So if you want both, you're paying over $100 and something, but it's an option.
You know what my prediction is? I don't even think GTA Online launches with the game. That's my prediction.
Kind of like they did last time.
Yeah, I don't think it launches with the game. I don't think they put this much effort.
But that would be even more reason to charge like separate prices for both.
Separate.
Then.
I personally don't think. I'll be surprised if GTA 6 comes with its online component of the game day one. I think they're gonna want to separate it so people could actually experience what they put into the world first through its narrative and its campaign. Have that out there, because if you drop the online component, there's gonna be a large people who love that role playing shit.
They're going straight to the online.
They're going straight to the online, and so do
straight
that
to the multiplayer.
Whatever the narrative that they work so hard and all that money and they invested to create probably a great ass fucking campaign. A lot of people might opt to play the online portion of the game and not even check for it too tough. So I do believe that even though if it's ready, they're gonna stagger it. I do believe that they're gonna stagger it. They're gonna stagger.
I can see that.
They're gonna have the campaign first, then maybe a month or two later, they're gonna open up the GTA Online with role playing and all of that jazz later. You know what would be wild, J-Man? If they made it a monthly subscription. What do you think about that? Elder Scrolls Online.
Shit.
I could see that low key.
Oh,
you know why?
Shit,
you know why I can
even
see that?
Thought about that?
You know why I can see that? Because think about it. That's how it is already in the RP servers. I swear those people pay to get in. Number one. They pay. I don't know if they pay monthly or something like that, but they pay for that shit, right? That's number one. And games like the Final Fantasy joints.
Was that 14?
14. Games like Elder Scrolls Online. If it's a game that people are gonna be playing for the next 10 years, I could see them pulling some shit like that. Watch I be right about this, and I nailed it. That GTA Online portion is a subscription.
That's a great prediction right there. That's a great prediction.
I think that may be a subscription service, bro. I think the online portion could be. Yo, mark it down. That y'all heard it here first. I don't think I heard anybody with this take.
Let's take it a little further. They could charge for like the base online like version of the game, and then if you want to access the RP service, that could be a fucking subscription.
Think about it. Y'all really take it in. I think they could get away with that shit.
Falling off how crazy this shit is.
GTA 7 is not coming out anytime soon. I think we all can agree that GTA 7 is not coming out anytime.
We're gonna have grandkids by the time GTA 7 come out.
They're gonna make that shit a subscription model, bro. Mark it down. They're gonna make it. That's actually a good prediction. I think I got, bro.
That's a great one.
They're gonna take the Final Fantasy 14 route and make it a subscription model type shit.
And they already have a subscription, like data for a subscription. They got that GTA Plus shit. That where members of GTA Online with the GTA Plus get benefits. So they could even incorporate the RP into the GTA Plus membership and just raise the price on that motherfucker. Just raise the price.
If they could trap mans in that loop, think about what type of money they making, bro. Every month that you paying for that shit. Think about what type of money they making. I want to be shocked, man. We're gonna mark it down and see if Kofi was right. If I nailed that, I would be fired. But we're gonna see. I could definitely. See
Yo,
them
Lee
taking a
Green
model
said
like
GTA 7 gonna be a chip we plug into the back of our neck.
that. Yeah,
That's
facts.
real life. Yeah, so right now that
That's facts.
GTA Plus is basically online benefits for GTA Online members, and you get access to the a selection of Rockstar titles. It's $7.99 a month. So just imagine they fucking make that $15 a month, and they add the RP joint on there. If you want to access the RP servers monthly, $15 a month. If you just want to play GTA Online, you can just buy the base GTA Online version. But yeah, and then if you want the campaign, boom, that's another $80 on this side. If you just want the campaign, I can see all of that.
You can
I
see it, right?
all of
You can
that.
see it, right?
Yeah, I can see all of that. To avoid just slapping a crazy $120-$130 price on just the whole product, you just break it up like that.
And I feel like they stagger it.
motherfuckers-
They stagger it. See, now this is the play. They stagger it. It's going to be expensive, right? For that, number one. Now they're going to show off. They're going to do a showcase, some sort of trailer for the online portion. They're going to hit Mans of the month with the RP shit, because they did bring the RP Mans along to development, right? Makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
I remember seeing
Right?
that.
They did bring the RP Mans, so they're going to be like, boom, boom, $14 a month or $10 a month for the server. It makes no like, people who are used to that type of shit, like who play like the Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy 14. It's not like a new type of concept, but it's new for GTA, of course. But I don't know, man. People might be like, if they show and it looks amazing, people might be down for that type. People might support that. I think people would support that shit, low key.
Because that RP stuff, it actually got a lot of people to buy PCs just to get involved.
Just to get in, just to get involved.
A lot of the young boys, when they seeing like the rappers be having their own servers and stuff like that, they bought PCs just to get that. So if they bringing it to the consoles, I think people be like, it's gonna be something new to them, but they're gonna be like, oh, I heard about this. Oh, we can actually play our own role. Like, they're gonna make it look nice.
Wow, I think I might have cracked the code with that one.
Crack the code with that shit.
I might have cracked the code with that one, bro. Let me read the super chat donation from Ken Patchy. Shout out to my guy Ken Patchy. We appreciate you with a $5 super chat donation. He says, "Nah, somebody get this man a comb, laughing my ass off. What's good, Kofi? All them light skins off the pod too, laughing my ass off." Yeah, them boys took I told them to take a pod off. I appreciate the super chat donations. If you're watching the podcast and you're enjoying the conversations, please hit that like button, man. Y'all can do better. You know what I mean? Show me and J-Main some love by simply hitting the like button, man. You want a super chat donation? We appreciate that too, but all we want you to do is hit the like button. Thank you. This one's from Jazzy Jefferson with a $20 super chat donation. Shout out to Jazzy. He says, "We will know when Sony has $80 base games when they put it in a PlayStation blog."
For sure.
Yeah, that's facts. They ain't gonna come out of the rooftops and scream it. It's definitely gonna be like, yo, it's gonna be tied. Yo, when PlayStation does shit like that, if you haven't pre'd it, they're gonna like announce a game, whether it be intergalactic and have like the collector's edition, and you're gonna just see the new prices. It's just gonna be there.
Yep.
It's just gonna be there. The new prices. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna rage about it on the internet for a day. Then we're gonna be like, yo, shit, we're buying that though. Anyways, a Naughty Dog, we buying that.
We've seen it so many. I remember when they had the showcase where they was talking about believing in generations and shit like that, and they showed all of these games and stuff like that, and then a blog post came out. You saw them shit PS4 version, but I said, yo, what the fuck? They didn't even mention that shit in the showcase, but during the blog post, you saw the PS4 version. I was like, these fucking scumbags. Same with Nintendo with the price of the Switch. Like,
they didn't do it in this show.
They didn't do nothing in the show.
They got like gaming buzz. They got game industry buzz to announce that shit, bro. They didn't want to announce that shit, yo.
When they feel like they got a consumer friendly price, usually they announce that shit then and there.
Right there on the spot, because they know people are going to cheer. When it's not, I remember with that Switch shit, I was watching that live. As soon as no price came out, I'm like, oh, the price is definitely going to be higher than, you know what I mean? Like
$399.
Yeah, it's going to be high because ain't no way they're going to skip out and, you know what I mean? And, I made a tweet earlier, and it's an observation that, we're in a point of time. Granted, there's sales. Don't get me wrong. Granted, there's sales and there's bundles. But we're in a point in time where low-key buying a console day one ain't even that fucking crazy anymore. Some people, people had to, some people were like, yo, I'm not buying a console day one, man. I'm going to wait for, you know what I mean, until the price drops or a slam model or some type of shit. But, this generation for the past couple, 4 years, they only been getting more expensive,
up.
Prices of tech have just been going more expensive. The older they get, it's still getting expensive, which is fucking nuts. So
Yeah.
I feel like, yo, buy the Switch 2 now, low-key might be the move, because if I'm a betting man, I think, a year down the road, a year and a half down the road, Nintendo probably increases the price of that. Especially if, after this 90 days, this man is still wilding like that.
Hmm.
I think Nintendo raises the price of the Switch down the
And
road
the
if
re
y'all not careful,
and
bro.
that's another thing too. Because prices have been going up way before like these tariffs and shit have been a thing. Like it's been fluctuating up and down, up and down. But there's also been like the issue with in the tech side of like the chips and shit not like coming down in price to manufacture them. So that's why like we haven't seen such drastic decreases in consoles as we've seen in previous generations. So this tariff stuff just adds to that. Like
Yeah, it's
that's why
another problem.
were predicting like next generation consoles weren't like gonna be cheaper than what we are getting now, or they were gonna be way more
It's going up.
because like
It's only
the
going up,
chipsets,
J-Man.
the
It's
chipsets
only
and all
going
that
up.
is still expensive to manufacture. So
It's
yeah,
only
it's
going up.
bad.
Apparently, I was talking with Jack. We were playing a game of Monopoly earlier, and I was
Hmm.
talking with Jack in the Discord. We were in there chilling, and
Shout out to
he,
Jack.
he told me that he has a bet with somebody for the PS6 to cost $1,000, $999. I think he overshot it. To be honest, I think he overshot it. He should have done like $100 or $200 more, low key, because I definitely could see that.
Like 600 or 700.
Yeah, I could.
I could definitely
six or
see
six, see
600.
six or
I could
six.
definitely see 600.
I could see
700.
I could see one.
I don't see. I can't see 700.
Yeah, I think he overshot it.
Yeah.
I think the PS6 is obviously going to cost more than the PS5. I don't think they're going to maintain the same price point. I think it's going to cost more. Right? If the
I think
PS4
we'll
Pro
see.
launched at that point, I think, especially in another 2 years, I think it's going to have a substantial type of increase in performance
Mhm.
to be quote unquote a next generation leap in at least hardware and CPU. I think it's gonna cost definitely more than the PS5. I don't think they're gonna have that same price point.
I'd be wondering if this is gonna extend like because we hear rumblings about the next generation starting in
Yeah, there's rumors
some years and
2027
stuff.
now for PlayStation. I've been seeing that a while, even though I think they should hold off at least 2028
Yeah.
the earliest, to be honest. But there's some rumors going around saying 2027 PS6. It doesn't really sound right.
But does stuff like this make you feel like it's gonna be later than that? Because like
If I was a console manufacturer, I would push my shit back.
Because if you gotta charge still like $500-$600 for the base PS5, then yeah, like what and the new shit is obviously gonna cost more to manufacture. Yeah. What the hell are you selling that at then? Like that's where Jack might have a point. Like yeah, shit's gonna be more expensive than what it is now. Yeah. But it's like how high do you go as a company where and now you're charging for the base system, which you're trying to get all of the casual customers on board. How do you charge them $700 for a base system?
And
like,
how do you do that? And my next thing is, in this era of gaming, J-Man, is there a need for console gaming? Is there a true need to have upgrades that frequently? Mm-hmm. Like low key,
like 7 years.
I feel like where gaming is at today and what these systems are capable of and what type of games that can be created, I feel like a console generation low key could go longer. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I would agree if we were only. That's what I was about to say.
We see woes.
Yeah.
But from
if we're talking 30 FPS,
no. But I'm telling you, from a visual perspective, I hate to admit it, J-Man, I know y'all keep on saying this and that, but it kind of seems like we came to a point of incremental. We talked about this before. It's more of an incremental type of increases versus the generation leaps that we've gotten in the past. Some of us who's been gaming, since the the PS1, Super Nintendo era. You know what I mean? Like the increment, like going from the PS4 and the PS5. Yes, there's a difference, but it's more of incremental changes, because I could make an argument like, Red Dead Redemption launched on the PS4. It's still like comparable to like that game could come out today and with that exact same visuals in big 2025, and people would say that's next gen. Like we kind of hit a spot,
but I
kind of hit a
spot.
I think
certain the studios and developments are going to showcase like they really got this shit. I think a lot of that
who
had
at this
to do
point.
too.
So who are we waiting for at this point?
It's
we waiting
them.
for at this
It's
point?
Naughty Dog. It's Rockstar. It used to be fucking Rocksteady, but they fell off. Um, shit. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. CD
That's what I'm
Projekt
saying.
Red. Like it's
I don't
those
know, man.
guys.
I do feel like I'm not saying we have peaked, but we are in the era of incremental changes, like increase. I think we're in that era.
But
of
how much
incremental.
of that do you think is due to them targeting 60 FPS too for these generations of games? Like before, it was just 30 FPS, so they didn't have to focus too much on making
Yeah,
sure that the game can
I'm
run
sure.
at a higher frame rate. You know what I'm saying?
Sure you
Now
can
they
get
targeting
more
60
visual
FPS.
flair. I'm sure
If
we,
it's just
we
30.
can get more visual flair, right? If it's just 30, I'm sure. And we do see some cases where they do have a 30 FPS mode where they up the graphical detail, whether it be more foliage, whether it be
Right.
more this and that.
But you can only go so
But
far,
I don't know
making the
how.
game too crazy and having to have to run on
I don't
60
know.
FPS as well.
I don't know how much better a game will look if they just focus solely on 30 FPS. It's Hellblade the point of, like, you know what I mean? Like, is that
Yeah,
what
that's
a 30 FPS game could possibly look like? But if we're being
Yeah.
realistic, like, Hellblade is a good looking game when it comes to obviously the mocap and the textures and the detail like that. But also at its core, it's a very surface level.
It's shallow.
Game. It's a
Yeah,
very
it's a shallow
shallow
game.
game at its core. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
look,
not,
picture Naughty Dog with a target of 30 FPS where they have the talent and the manpower. At 30 FPS, they could make a game that looks like Hellblade and also have the substance
this is
of
early.
a Naughty
J-May.
Dog game.
This is very early. Granted, this is very early.
Yeah,
Intergalactic. When we seen it, right away we could tell it's a Naughty Dog game. It literally looks
For
like
sure.
Naughty Dog character models.
it
But
does. Yep.
would you say her model in that was drastically, listen to what I'm saying, a generational leap from The Last of Us
No.
Part 2? I would
No.
say no
But
too. I would say no
It's
too.
running, but what is it running at? It's running at 60 FPS.
Okay,
that's my point.
That's what I'm saying. I guess, look, I don't know if we need a PS6 until like 2030, to be honest. That's my, that's what I'm trying to get at.
because a lot of the games is not running at like lock 60 and shit like that. We see them, especially Unreal Engine 5. That shit is dog shit now. Like
I get
these
that.
games be having stuttering
I
and
get that,
hitching
J-Main.
and running below 60 FPS. Like
But
we need something to
even
help
we
with
look,
that.
even we're looking at what is happening on the PC side of things and technology and stuff like that, bro. Look what's going on. Like, yo, bro, the whole
The engine and
presentation is all fucking AI upscalers and shit like that.
So
And
what
frame
you think
generation.
PS5 can? But PS5 can't even do that.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
another reason why we need a PS6
But I
because they
feel
need
like
more machine learning in
with
it.
I feel like with the PS5 Pro that's available, I feel like they could, if they wanted to, extend this generation a little bit longer, bro.
It don't have enough. Not with the machine learning stuff to help with the performance. It don't have enough machine learning tech in it to even to handle like what we're seeing with the of course
What's the
now with
latest?
the new graphics cards.
What's the latest? What's the latest? Would you like to see the like the latest? You would like to see
The
PS6?
latest,
Yeah, I'm actually curious. How do y'all feel about it? What's the latest?
probably 28. Probably 28.
That's the latest. You think
No,
it's pushing it after
latest
that?
30, 2030.
That's
the
what I said.
latest.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Pretty much. That's how I mind that. I don't think that's a bad release time. I don't think that's a bad release time, and I do think we probably see something a little bit more substantial if it releases in 2030.
Yeah, of course, because the longer you wait, you could get better technology in there. But I just don't think the further we go in this generation, especially with people using Unreal Engine 5, and you're supposed to be trying to get more out of the system the later you go, it's already looking spooky for the performance modes in some of these games. First party usually be alright, but third party
chat.
is
I want to ask the chat something.
it's tough.
I want to
We
ask the
need
chat
pro
something.
developers, not pro consoles. Shout out to Muck. That's his shit.
that was a bar. I'll give him that. Muck be talking a whole lot of shit, but that was a bar. Yo,
That
I
is
ask
true,
the chat. Do you think we ever see that kind of PS3 or PS2 to PS3 generational leap again? Do you think we ever see that from from one console cycle? I want to ask the chat that. Like, do y'all think that's happening again? I personally don't. I don't think we seen something like that ever again. At least from one console. I think if you look back maybe two, you might be like, whoa. But I think from one console to a new one, I don't think we see that ever again. Chat, what do y'all
Or even
think?
PS3 to PS4 was a nice jump, but PS2 to PS3 I think was like that shit was insane. I think what before that, what would be like considered the biggest jump then? Would it be like what like well no N60 was
PS2, yo, no,
N64
from
and
no,
PS1?
obviously going from 32 to 64 bit, obviously the 3D world.
Yeah.
That was like a massive mind blower. Like I remember these. I was around for these times, bro. I remember seeing the shift from obviously 2D style games to 3D. That shit was like different.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of hold like
Mario 64 and shit like that.
such a high regard,
Yeah,
bro.
that was
That game was
insane.
so different. Like I was so blown away. And I do remember when I brought my Dreamcast home that one time, bro. When I brought my brothers brought the Dreamcast home, niggas fired up Dead or Alive 2. Bro, those people that shit looked like real life to me. Dead or Alive 2 looked like real life to me when I saw that the first time. Seen Sonic Adventure, seen Soul Calibur. I was like, wow, these type of graphics, I've never seen no shit like that before. But yo, recent years, yo, it hasn't been that, Jamie. It hasn't been that at all. Not to that kind of degree. And I don't think we having that kind of degree again. I don't think we having that kind of degree again, yo.
I don't think so. I think performance is where it's going to be at going forward, where we're going to see the biggest jumps for consoles. But visual wise, I mean, ray tracing and path tracing can do a lot, but it's so expensive. We got to see what the next generation of hardware can handle. But like, I think path tracing, especially with stuff like global illumination and stuff like that, can really transform a game.
Yeah, they make the line look.
But
you know
it's
what?
expensive.
You know what?
It's expensive.
Blade X is preaching in the chat. Low key, the only way I can see some shit like that is if AI is heavily involved.
Yeah,
That's the only way.
AI is going to be heavily involved. What?
If AI is heavily involved in game development, if it gets to a point out there heavily involved, that's when I may be able to believe that we might get something crazy looking. If AI,
do y'all mean like from the technical side or like the creation side?
Both.
Like how we see with AI with frame generation and stuff like that.
Not just that, not just like on upscale. I'm talking about even just creating. I asked for creating and you know what I mean?
Because even with I think it's DLSS. Don't they have something that helps with improving like the picture, like the image quality and stuff like that with the AI? That they just like ushered in with the new DLSS 4, I think it is at now, where like you see the differences just with the clarity of the picture, showing more detail and shit like that with the AI versus even like the native image and shit like that. So yeah, that's the type of technologies. Of course, they're gonna usher in next generation, but as far as like graphical leaps, I mean, there's technology out there for it. I just don't think it can run it. Like a lot of things can run it nowadays.
Yeah,
because the stuff we see with, like, I mean, I hate to use that as an example because we ain't seen nothing since. But that Marvel shit that Amy Hennig is working on.
I don't believe it.
That shit look real as fuck.
You could bleed the Kool-Aid for that shit, but I don't believe real, actual moment-to-moment gameplay gonna look like that. I'll be shocked. Yeah. If I would say that's kind of a big jump. I don't think moment-to-moment gameplay gonna look like that. I'm willing to bet moment-to-moment gameplay won't look like that. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. They could fool y'all niggas with that little not CGI, but real in-engine, real nice cutscene where they can focus on that type of shit. But moment-to-moment gameplay, I don't think it gonna look like
it's gonna look like that.
It ain't gonna
I wouldn't be surprised if you're right about that.
Yeah, because like even PlayStation is really good at that. Don't get me wrong. Like I was just playing Uncharted this year. When you see the cutscenes and that shit, that character model of Nathan Drake is different versus the in-game model. Like the actual moment-to-moment model is different, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it looked good, but
it's
that
like
cutscene model
it's a lower poly version.
that cutscene model is different. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. All right. So what else can we really tackle? Okay, I do want to talk about this since we're in the realm talking about like Microsoft and the game prices and stuff like that. And we did briefly mention that Microsoft had some quarterly report-ins, which some looked really positive. Obviously, the hardware side is still in a decline. I think this might be like the 5th, 6th quarterly I've seen where hardware has been declining, and I think it will continue to decline. But
especially with these price increases.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the company ain't making money elsewhere, right? I think it's expected that the hardware will continue to not perform as well, but Microsoft is going to be making money elsewhere as now they're one of the biggest third party, if not the biggest third party publisher in the world. Like, once again, after Microsoft acquired Activision, after they acquired Bethesda, and with their own little realm of Xbox Game Studios, like, yo, they're the biggest third party publisher, bro. Like, they're huge. You know what I mean?
It don't surprise me that they have like now it's all coming to fruition. They got a whole bunch of games like
they're gonna
coming
make
out.
Money.
Damn near every month they got something.
Damn, you bought the studios. You bought the studios. They're like, yo, these are like games that they would have been created anyways. Like, you bought the joints, so now it's under your umbrella, bro. You know what I mean? So so right now, you know, there was a report saying that Microsoft is the top publisher on PlayStation Store by pre-orders and pre-installs in Q1 2025. And honestly, when I see this,
Q3. That's Q3.
Oh, that's what it says. Is that Q3 or Q3 2025? And when I see this, it makes all the sense in the world. Like I just explained like 2 seconds ago, it makes all the sense in the world. They are the biggest publisher, one of the biggest third-party publishers in the industry right now with all that they own, right? But what is interesting is, yo, them boys need help, J-Main. The Xbox boys need help, man. The Xbox boys, man, they need help, bro. You know what? I read a comment under, I forgot who it was, but you know what someone said? Someone said, Trojan horse in full effect. I'm like, bro, like, is this how y'all spinning this? That all y'all like, yo, bro, how is Xbox games performing good on? I need an Xbox fan in the chat to explain, at least to me.
It's the infiltration of the PlayStation charts.
how is Xbox games, or that's under the Xbox umbrella, whether it be Call of Duty or whatever, but that's the Activision shit, performing well on PlayStation, like a dub supposed for to be a knock. Xbox gamer, bro? How's that a knock for How's that a knock for PlayStation? I don't understand
it's
that.
So stupid.
Can someone explain that to me? Why is that a knock for PlayStation?
Is PlayStation doesn't have to pay anything to get those games
on their platform. They just make money.
They get a cut from it. How the fuck are they trying to make that an L from PlayStation? How is that an infiltration in the Trojan horse? They getting paid.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that how all like third party operates on their system, on their storefront? Like whether if Hogwarts does extremely well, I'm pretty sure PlayStation's really happy when Hogwarts sells 10 million copies possibly on their system or 5 million copies on their system, because I don't know what they have negotiated, but I guess the standard with that we all know is 30%. That means that each sale, that digital sale or even physical sale, they get 30%. They get 30% of their earnings. So why would PlayStation be mad about that?
The only people that are upset at this are, first of all, they're mentally disturbed. But secondly, it would be people who are mad at seeing Xbox games on a PlayStation chart for something like monthly game sales or weekly active users. Like, that's the only people that would be upset at something like this. Like, oh, what the fuck is these Xbox games doing over here? Like, again, mentally disturbed. Like, who else would be upset at this? Nobody else should be mad at this. You get more games to play, which you should want for owning a game system. And PlayStation makes money off of it, which is good for them, I guess. Like, it's
Xbox putting their games on PlayStation is the biggest dub for PlayStation. I'm telling y'all, that's the biggest dub for them personally, because they're not going to put their games on your. There's no L's in that. They're not going to put their games on your shit. We'll take your games. We'll make money off it, right? Which will obviously make the console more appealing, because now when the guy goes into the store, they're going to be like, yo, what the fuck? Forza Horizon? Halo? Gears?
Indiana Jones,
Call of Duty on PlayStation. They're going to look at the Xbox side. Oh, yo, those games are there too, right? But they don't have the God of War. They don't got Uncharted. They don't got Horizon. They don't got Gran Turismo. So it only bolsters up the PlayStation platform to make it look more appealing. So I don't understand this new delusion or this new narrative. Them boys just need to give it up, bro. You know what I mean? Them boys need to give it up, bro. You know
is that and I think it's the Game Pass shit too, where they're trying to get on people for purchasing their games, because Game Pass you essentially get it for free, and it's like, oh, y'all gotta pay for it, but I just subscribe to Game Pass and I'm playing the games.
I'm pretty sure like again they don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure as a PlayStation gamer, they're like, yo, okay, we don't give a fuck. That's cute. Now I mean we're gonna
I gotta keep doing something that I've been doing for my whole life.
Yeah, I know, like
my whole adult life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, buying video games, right? Yeah, buying video games is like the norm, bro. Like, that's what we do, bro. Like, people buy video games, whether it be on Steam. So y'all not gonna shame mans that, yo, we're buying a video game. Like, we've been buying video games,
especially if you can get a physical copy that you own. Like,
That's what I'm
That
saying.
trumps all.
That's what I'm
Especially
saying.
in this day and age, a physical copy is what you want in terms of like preservation and shit like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I never really understood like the new angle. I think at this point we have to the writing is on the wall. You know what I mean? I do think Microsoft will make one more console. I do think so, but I don't think they make another console after that, especially if the hardware is going to continue to pour. How many more quarterly reportings are we going to get? The hardware's in a decline. The hardware's in a decline.
Yeah.
The hardware's in a decline. How many more before they're like, you know what? Yo, hardware's in a decline for the last 10, 12 quarters. You know what I mean? Our content and services are through the roof. We up 8%. You know what I mean? All that shit is up. Our games, is up. The only logical thing is like, yo, why we even holding on to this shit, bro? Let's just cut this shit off and let's focus on our strengths, yo. And let's just, fuck it. That's what I think is eventually going to happen if the hardware continues to decline. And don't putting their games on PlayStation is not helping really with that. You know what I mean? It only makes PlayStation just look more appealing. They might not have the strongest first-party lineup, but now they got your first-party lineup too. So, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like an L to me. You know what I mean? It don't seem like no L to me. This might be the year that PlayStation gets Forza Horizon, is heavily rumored Gears Collection, Death Stranding now, and Ghost of Yotai. Yo, sounds like a good year to PlayStation for me, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like a good year for PlayStation.
So, speaking of Game Pass, I know like the long-going conversation on the timeline about supporting the developers. How do you feel about like the conversation where people feel like buying the game? And I know a couple of developers have said this, like buying the game is the best way to support the developer. But do you feel like playing a game or playing through a game on Game Pass is like should be frowned upon and it's not considered not supporting the developer?
I think there's plenty of examples of developers coming out and say Game Pass works for them. I think Game Pass as a platform works for certain cases. That's just my opinion from reading other developers who've launched the game on Game Pass. It seems like, right? It seems like games that are unproven, untested, unknown really benefit from Game Pass, right? Because guess what? Microsoft cuts you a check just to have it in there for a duration, right? They cut you a massive check. Probably for a new studio, you would love that, right? And especially, listen, if your game turns out to be popping and goes viral on the internet, it gets other people on other platforms, if it's multi-platform, to buy the game too. You feel me? It gets people to buy the game. So I think in those kind of situations, Game Pass is a good way. My personal opinion, a game like Call of Duty shouldn't even be in Game Pass. For what? For what?
You don't see no benefit there.
What's the benefit of I understand why it's in Game Pass, because they want to increase the number. They want to make Game Pass appealing so they can increase the number of Game Pass, right? So I understand why it's there, but for IP that's so popular, it's an IP that people literally turn off their brain and buy it every year that it comes out. It doesn't matter. The Ultimate Edition, the 4-day early act. People want Call of Duty. For a game like that to launch in Game Pass, I feel like it's stupid because you're just leaving money on the table. You know what I mean? You leaving just hard, cold cash on the table that, people are going to buy this game. It's not like if you didn't launch it here, people won't be playing Call of Duty. People are going to be playing Call of Duty. So I feel like for established games, I feel like real established games that have already a huge fanfare, I personally feel like if I want to put it in Game Pass. I feel like, shit. $80 Call of Duty, bro. No Game Pass. Buy that. Y'all gonna buy it, and it's gonna be, you know what I mean? Like it's literally the best-selling game most years, outside of some exceptions like a GTA launch or a Hogwarts launch.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't understand. Well, like I said, I understand the logic behind it because they want Game Pass to be like, they want consumers to be like, oh my God, I can't believe Call of Duty's in Game Pass. Let me subscribe to Game Pass, and Microsoft wants it to keep you there so you can keep paying every month. Every month.
But what's interesting?
You get more money. If you can keep a guy there for a year, you get more money.
Didn't Phil Spencer just come out too and say like Game Pass isn't for everybody? Like
I feel like he did.
Yeah, like he doesn't expect the gamer that, I think he said, like, he doesn't expect the gamer that buys like 1 or 2 games a year to, especially if it's like a Call of Duty or a basketball or a sports game,
to subscribe to that. Doesn't make
Game
sense.
Pass to be for them. It doesn't make sense for them. Yeah. So when I hear that, it's like, damn. Well, then why put those type of games in the subscription service if like they're just gonna buy it outright? Like
I think
it's
to make it look appealing, to get people in the door, because the goal was to obviously hit a certain amount of subscribers so they could generate a certain amount of money, right? Their goal was to
Yeah.
hit a subscriber count. I forgot what the figure was. It was pretty high, and they were far off. Like a Call of Duty,
They
I would have never launched a Call of Duty in no fucking Game Pass. I would take that money. I'll take that money cold cash. Personally, I feel like
they haven't updated that number in a while either.
Yeah, hopefully we do get an update soon because I'm definitely curious to see what.
Like I want to know what Call of Duty did and what like this last quarter did, because there was a lot of games that, like from Indiana Jones, South of Midnight. Then we have Expedition 33, like and then Doom coming up. Like it's
a
like
lot of games, man. It's a lot of good games if you're into that. You know what I mean? Like if you're into that.
Oblivion too. That's the remaster was very popular.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of Expedition, that game sold 1 million copies within, I think, the first 3 days, I believe it was. Let me get the.
That's good, man. That's good for that game.
And and that's in addition to it being day one on Game Pass and PC Game Pass and stuff like that. So it's good to see that game doing well, especially from a smaller studio that was able to create their vision and make it come to fruition.
Yeah.
I think they said Oblivion had 4 million players.
Yeah.
I think this was like a day or so after launch. So a lot of people playing that. Yeah, man. Just trying to see if there was any other sales information. I don't think so.
Yeah, so those games are performing extremely well. I think even Oblivion on Steam got like 200K concurrent players at one point in time. So a lot of people are playing that on what's it called, Steam right now. I'm actually curious. I want to go check what's the current count of that. That game is fire, bro. I'm enjoying myself so
For
much,
Oblivion,
bro. I don't know how you put that joint down, bro. That you need to get that shit is
that combat.
That
can't do it.
Fire, bro.
I can do it, but it's not something that I want to do right now.
I'm so immersed in that joint right now. There's 100K people, 114K people playing right now. That game is so fire, bro. Really enjoy it.
For everything else that I'm playing, it's like, all right, I can come back to this. Like I've been here before, I beat it before, but I'm gonna play something else right now.
For me, it's been so long, so like I loosely remember like elements of the game, right? I literally played that game when I was like 13 or 14, so.
And that's crazy too, because what you said is like usually how it is for me. Like I haven't played that game since 360, but for some reason that game had a huge impact on me to the point where I remember a lot about that game. Yeah, like I don't know if like, because that was probably like one of the first like open world RPGs I played like that, like Western RPGs, and that shit just hooked me like right then and there, and I loved it. I beat that shit, and I was like,
fun, bro.
It was impactful. It was so impactful.
It's still good. You can still see the magic a little bit. You know what I mean? If someone returned into the game, you can see the magic, why it was so popular back when it came out. You know what I mean? Like this is why this was. I really felt like that as I'm playing the game. Like, yo, they nailed some shit in this shit. It's funny too. Even some of the dialogue that you go through is like a little. It's goofy, but it's funny though. It's like it's funny in the game in the game sense, bro. Like you go hit like a guard and see how they pull up on you and shit like that, bro. I remember I committed a crime, bro. I'm thinking that I lost this man, bro. This man chasing me. Yo, this man was chasing me.
He chased you across town.
Across the fucking world, bro. I was like, yo, what? No, so I was on the horse and everything, bro. I enter a building.
They will chase you, bro.
Bro, I enter like some fucking building, and this is me thinking like he's not following, but I saw that red dot. I'm like, what the? The red dot on the little compass shit. I enter some dorm. I'm talking with some next nigga. Hey, you committed a crime. This shit is hilarious, bro. I was fucking crying, bro. That shit was funny. I'm like, yo, this guy really chased me, bro. Across the whole fucking world, bro. Just to
chase you through loading screens and everything.
Yo, that shit, through doors, loading. Yo, that shit is fire, bro. I don't give a fuck. That Oblivion is fire, bro. Y'all need to play that joint and immerse yourself in that. Great on PC too, man. All right. So in other news, what the fuck happened, man? Returnal. This is a quick one, little quick hit.
Oh yeah.
Returnal is finally getting a PS5 Pro patch. I don't know the details. Oh, it's out already? But that's perfect. I think it's celebrating this 4-year anniversary. You guys already know how I feel about that game. It's definitely up there. If I had to make a list of top 30 games of all time, I think I fit Returnal somewhere up there in top 30 games of all time. I really, really, really enjoyed that game, man. That game has amazing replay value as well. I love games that it's fun to revisit, man. I think that's the essence of a good game. If you could pop in and play and have a good time, then that's the essence of a good game. If you can actually
I plan to get the platinum before the next game comes out.
Yeah, that game is a good time, bro.
Yeah.
I run
Yeah.
through that shit now. Like I have that shit memorized. I do that shit. I ran Strat
Mhm.
through that game, bro. I ran him through that game. You can ask him. I carried him
Damn,
throughout the whole shit.
carried him through the first time he beat it.
Yeah, I ran him through that shit.
Sheesh.
That game is
Oh yeah, because they
incredible.
had the co-op and all of their
Yeah,
stuff on there.
yeah, yeah.
The Pro Patch is a little disappointing to me.
Not like the
It's
PC
just a
Joe,
no, it's just a resolution bump. So it runs at a dynamic resolution. You know how internally it was like a 1080p, then they
huh?
upscaled it. Now the internal resolution is anywhere from like 15 to like 1700p, and then it upscales to 4K. So it's a crisper image. Still runs at a solid 60, no 120 FPS mode, and no ray tracing. They didn't add none of the ray tracing features that was on the PC version. So I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed
The
in
PC
that.
version is the only. The PC version is the only version like the PlayStation port that I've seen that is such a drastic difference. Typically, when PlayStation launches a game on PC, yes, the PC version looks better, but
Mhm.
the PlayStation version is comparable. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a bad version. Like, it's
No.
obviously you don't have like the ultra wide and those type of unlock frame rates. Even now with the Pro, you even get some unlock frame rates. You know what I'm saying? But Returnal is the only game that I've played that I was like, whoa, this looks way better than the
Mhm.
console counterpart. Like that one
Yep.
looked different. I remember when I hit a puddle and I actually saw my like the ray
The
tracing
reflection.
reflections. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh shit,
yeah.
this shit is fucking
Yep.
crazy. You know what I
I was
mean?
watching
So
your comparison video. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, it looked way better on PC, bro. They killed
It's
that
like,
PC version.
yeah, because usually sometimes they don't even like the PC versions just be like you said, ultra wide support, higher frame rates, and then you can
Yeah,
run it at like 4K and shit like
yeah,
that, native resolutions or DLSS and
yeah, exactly,
FSR. But that was one
exactly.
that they took it to the next step, like with the ray tracing and all of that.
All right, all right.
Shoot.
J Main, hold the chat down for
Yes,
two
sir.
seconds.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to the chat. Your Strat say get my name out your motherfucking mouth. You must be talking to Kofi. Is it true though? Did he carry you through the first time you beat it? If it's true, it don't count. Let you know that right now. I be like that too with like my Souls games. If I play a Souls game that has co-op and people be trying to play with me, like, yo, we should run through the game together. I feel like if I do that, it doesn't count as me beating the game. So I would still just have to beat the game by myself. But then I would still feel diminished because I already went through the game one time with somebody else. So I know all like the boss moves and shit like that. That's how my brain works. Like I gotta if I'm gonna beat a game, it has to be by myself, even if it's co-op. It depends though. If it's like, of course, like split fiction and shit like that, you got to play that co-op, or even something like a Borderlands, which is like designed around co-op. I would like to, other than that, I would like to play it by myself.
Borderlands. Che, if you didn't tell me, I done forgot about that joint shit. I have no interest in that Borderlands.
Bro,
So I
I
don't even
almost
know where
forgot
we
the
were.
state of play happened.
Yeah, okay, so let's move on to this real quick. Yeah, PlayStation did announce a state of play, and it was specifically for Borderlands. They must got some sort of marketing rights for this game. Look, the
Yeah,
IP is a big IP, so I'm not gonna like shit on it. It may not be for me. Yeah, Mr. likes everything, doesn't like some. I played Borderlands 1, 2, and 3. I feel like I might have tried all of them joints, and I couldn't even finish one of them. I just found them boring, personally. But I do know it's a popular franchise. They do conventions. They do a whole lot of cosplaying, and people fuck with the Borderlands franchise. So all power to the people who enjoy the game. Will I try this one? Shit. Eventually, if I get my hands on it, maybe I'll give it a go to see if I could jive with this one, because I'm always open to trying shit. But I've
Low
never really
key
gotten
though.
to Borderlands before.
I heard if you're a Borderlands fan, this was a great state of play. A great deep dive on the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. The feedback. I'm looking at the dislike bar because that's that people be going crazy sometimes when the state of plays is trash. It only has 3,000 dislikes and 33,000 likes. So seems like feedback has been pretty good. Like Kofi said, I'm not gonna play it, but it was I don't know. I saw some backlash on the timeline about this, and I'm just like, enough. Like you niggas complain about
Is it the anti-woke
everything,
man? Is it
dog.
the anti-woke mans?
No, it's
Is it?
not
Oh,
them. It was
okay. It's
actually
not the
fucking. It was Big Cloud. Shout out to Big Cloud. I had to,
Big Cloud, that goofy guy.
Big Cloud. Yeah, I had to call him out because I'm like, dog. Like people been like, oh, it should have been Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, Ghost of Yotai, and I'm like, can y'all give them a chance to even like get that together
Dog,
and then come out?
dog. I blame
Like,
Jack Move,
this is
man. He's encouraging a lot of these dudes just to be
he definitely
nice.
yes.
shout
That's
out
a
to
fact.
Jack.
Jack
He's
Move
encouraging a lot of
literally
these,
got all
these
of these dudes
complainers complaining for
complain about
everything. Now
everything,
the
dog.
first reaction is a critique and a complaint, bro. Shout out to Jack. You
Always.
definitely got those guys empowered. That you definitely empowered some folks to complain, bro. And I'm saying, there's a lot of shit to complain about, but some of y'all shit that y'all be complaining about, like, be like unreasonable sometimes, bro. Like,
Yeah, you complaining about a state of play. They do deep dives for almost all of their first party games. So you think they're just gonna stop now with Ghost of Yote, especially some
we're
or
gonna get more
Yotai?
information. We're gonna get obviously more
Dog,
information.
Ghost of
down the
Tsushima
road,
had a state of play literally like a month or two before the game came out.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
said anything, but now all of a sudden it's like, where's the marketing for Ghost of Yotai? What the dog? Can y'all let it happen? Like, if we get to a point where maybe a month out or 2 weeks out and we don't got nothing else and just leave it at what it is, okay,
Yeah,
then we could say something about it. Oh,
yeah,
it's
J-Man,
like,
because some things are obvious, like some things are obvious. They're obviously gonna do certain shit. Like this, Borderlands. You think this is gonna be like the last state of play we get for the year, bro? Yo, I'm pretty sure around the time frame of Summer Games Fest. I'm not saying it's gonna be Summer Games because PlayStation likes to move like they Rockstar and kind of do their own thing, right? So it might be a little bit after Summer Game Fest. It might be maybe a little, but I guarantee you within that frame, there's gonna be some sort of state of play where they do a showcase of multiple games. Even like I'm pretty sure we're not even done seeing Death Stranding. We might get something even sooner than that because of Death Stranding
Kojima got another 10-15 minute trailer cooking up right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's even it don't feel right. I feel like we might even see something with Death Stranding again. Let us know that shit's coming out with some other games. So I really doubt. I do think we're gonna get more PlayStation state of plays. As for a showcase, I don't know. Who knows at this point in time when they decide to do this?
I don't know if they even doing those anymore.
I still do think. I think they're gonna do it when it's worth it. Like right now, they probably don't have nothing worth it to really to get into it. Cause every time they've done it, the past two, like everyone has complained. It seemed like we all complained that it was not good enough for the last two showcases. So if they don't have anything worth calling a showcase, maybe they shouldn't, right? Label it a showcase. Just do this fucking state of play.
Keep the expectations in check.
Yeah, keep the expectations because when they do the showcase, then we all wild out. The last two showcases, people were mad at it. We got fucking Concord, Sandwich, and we got fucking Fair Games and Marathon, and that was about it. I feel like, and maybe a Spider-Man trailer or some shit like that. I don't know, but that was about it, and people were pretty upset with that. So if you don't have something that's worthy for the showcase, then don't do it. Do a state of play. That's where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Do the state of play. But yeah, man. Hey man, shout out to the Borderlands fans, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy this game. I will not be there. I'll let y'all know that from now. I will not be there.
I feel like the last thing we probably should talk about is this EA layoff and cancellation of projects from Respawn.
Yeah, you gotta fill me in on that shit. I don't know what the hell going on with that.
Yeah, so EA actually it was Respawn really, but they put out one of those developer Twitter posts where it's just a bunch of words on a colored background. If you read it, it didn't seem like it was going where it was going.
I thought they were gonna get. I saw that post, but I didn't even read it because I didn't see the headlines. I can't lie. I was looking for headlines.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was reading at first.
I thought Respawn was gonna be like, Respawn was gonna be closed, shut down. That's what I initially thought.
Oh, you thought it was a shutdown?
I thought it was a shutdown. Well, when I initially thought,
yeah, they did lay off a lot of people though. So basically, according to their report, 100 staff have been laid off at Respawn, and it's claimed that a further 200 to 300 people have been laid off across departments at EA. So just to continue in with the layoffs and across the industry. But what Respawn basically came out and said is that they had two projects that they were working on in like the early stage incubation period, and basically they canceled both of those and decided that they were going to just continue to work on Apex Legend content and a new entry in the Star Wars Jedi series. So anybody that had hopes of like a Titanfall 3 or maybe them doing like something different outside of the Star Wars and Apex stuff, dreams is dead. Now, a report did come out that they were working on a new Titanfall game, and apparently it was an extraction shooter. Yeah, apparently it was an extraction shooter.
Oh man. J Main. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a glass, half full type of guy, right? Yeah, I mean, positive merchant, bro. You know, I'm Paris Jr. and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Terrible day for
Um,
the industry.
but I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know if I don't think I spoke of this last pod, but I did. I didn't. None of us got into the marathon joint, bro. By the way.
No, they ain't dog. They ain't letting nobody in that motherfucker.
Yeah, they ain't
They
nobody in that marathon
bullshitting.
joint, bro. Right? Let me tell you something. My boy Strat found a way to play the joint. I think through, you know what I mean, some other means. You know what I mean? He got a way to play the joint, whether through another account or whatever, bro. I ain't snitching, but he did something like that. So he was
he was
streaming
on
the
there
game.
talking about that last week.
He was streaming the game in the Discord, bro. Oof. Oof. It's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good, bro. You know what I mean? The way they cut that trailer versus what what I was watching was different. And the funny thing is, you know, why I'm bringing that, I feel like I did talk about this last podcast, but the funny thing why I'm bringing it up again today is that you know, I think it was called is it Arc Raiders?
Yeah, Arc Raiders. That's the other extraction shooter.
So I saw a trailer of Arc Raiders. Right? I saw a trailer of this, and I found out it's an extraction shooter, PvPvE.
Mm-hmm.
Then I watched some gameplay of that joint. Then I'm like,
Looks great.
Wow. If this is Marathon's competition, it's looking shaky. It's looking shaky for Marathon. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I might lose that bet with BG for real. Because Arc Raiders might take over that shit, bro. It's looking a little shaky, bro. That Arc Raiders look way more polished and fun game. Even the interactions with like the NPCs. The PvE portions of the game, enemies look more interesting. We got these big spider robot type shits, and that shit look more interesting. And just the premise already looks more interesting. So I think that Marathon might be in trouble because that Arc Raiders look good, bro. Like I thought Marathon was like the only kind of competition on the console side of things.
Consoles.
Arc
Raiders. I've been having my eye on Arc Raiders since like 2021, back when it wasn't even an extraction shooter. It was going to be just like, I think, a PvE type of game. I think they made it into an extraction shooter. But I was watching some gameplay too. I think I was watching Jack Frags play the game.
I was watching that too.
The state of that game definitely seems to be more polished than where Marathon is right now. A lot of stuff that you mentioned, like they got customization. You could create your own character.
Proximity too.
Yeah, the proximity chat is in there. They got solo queues as well as team queues.
Yeah.
I know a lot
of people
complaining about solo queues.
More ready, yo.
They have emotes too, like where you can like put your hands up, be like don't shoot, or like if you're friendly and shit like that. That stuff look cool. And it just seems. Oh, it also has like I think a couple other extraction shooters have this, but where you have like a safe that you could put certain items in on your run, so that no matter even if you die, you still get that item. I don't think Marathon has something like that right now. So it just seems like
more polished, complete,
more feature complete.
Yeah, more feature complete and more thought of properly. And the balancing between the action because once again, when I watched that played, he did a lot of opening boxes. The menus looked like I wasn't a fan of the menu designs of just the way the style was. I was not a fan of that. But that Arc Raiders, man. Let's see if I can get it up on the stream, man. That's his competition, man. Then maybe I'm not gonna say Marathon dead on arrival. I still think he's gonna do his thing, but I could see this game taking, taking a portion of his player base. Yeah, taking some mind share, especially if it's it turns out to be as good as it looks. When it gets
where I like Marathon better in comparison. I haven't played either one. I did get into Arc Raiders. I just haven't played it yet, so I'm gonna try and get to it this weekend, hopefully. But what I do like the hero aspect of Marathon though over Respawn. I mean, not Respawn, Arc Raiders. I don't think the characters have abilities. I don't know if you could maybe have. I think you could have a skill tree where I think you can upgrade and pick certain things that you can have. I don't know if they have like abilities like what we've seen in the Marathon. Each character is unique. I do like that over Marathon. I've seen some gameplay where it's like what you said, Kofi, where it's like nothing really going on, and they might run into like some other enemies. But then I've also seen gameplay where the shit been crazy action packed. So it do depend on the run, and how active the players are and the enemy. They do got like Arc Raiders with the enemy types though. It's way better.
It just looks more interesting. It just looks more
AI with the big giant boss type enemies and stuff like that. Yeah, all that stuff look fly. That stuff looks fly.
Yeah.
So I would say Arc Raiders definitely is going to be some competition for it. I think it's in a better place right now than what Marathon is for sure.
Blade
And
X in the chat said
they
I
might
only
have to
ran.
delay.
Blade X in the chat real quick. J Main says that
Mhm.
I got into that alpha on the second day. I dropped the marathon. I only ran into other players twice in 6 matches.
Damn. Yeah,
Yikes.
that's not good.
Yikes.
That's not
Yeah,
good.
when I saw the
They
pacing
either,
of the game versus the trailer that they cut, and I saw the real pacing of the game, some real gameplay, then once again, I just like to get the full picture before I form a real opinion. I feel like I just once
they need
again,
to let more people in. Maybe it's just not enough
yeah,
people playing to fill up
yeah. I
these
don't know,
servers that
man.
they. I don't know.
I don't know. You think
But
the game
yeah,
should get
they.
delayed? It's looking like
Um,
it might. It
I wouldn't
might.
be surprised if it did.
I think they should
Yeah,
delay it and
I wouldn't be
release it
surprised.
in the best state possible to give it a chance. Don't pull a Concord situation in the
Yeah,
sense of just putting it out there and we're going to add to this later. I do think
right.
they should, like, they were gassing it that, like, I don't know what they're exactly saying. Something about, like they have another season coming out that's supposed to be really good, but it's not going to be there at launch. I think maybe you should wait for
Oh,
that to
a
be
map. I
ready.
think it's the map.
Yeah,
I think
Matt.
it's
I
the
think they
map.
should wait for that to be ready before you launch the game, in my personal opinion. I think this year is too busy.
Uh-huh.
I think this year's too crazy and busy to drop a mid pack. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's too much
Yeah,
going on here, bro. There's too many good
yeah.
games coming out for you to be dropping some mid, or it's gonna get better later. You know what I'm saying? It's not the year to do that in. I don't think so. It's not the year
Yeah.
to do that in. Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to
Well,
play it. I still like look forward to it, but if it's going to go up against this shit and other stuff out there, not this shit, but Arc Raiders and then other games out there, then yeah, make sure that it has at least on par feature wise with what the competition is offering, and then
yeah. Because
also bolster your unique twist on it.
yeah, exactly. I once again, like, stylistically how they showed the game, it looks so intriguing. Like when I look at Arc Raiders, it is more. I wouldn't say from a visual perspective. It's more something that we're accustomed to. It's nothing
Yeah.
something so special in terms of like stylistic choices, right?
Mhm.
But it does.
It
I
almost
can't
remind
lie,
me of
but
Helldivers a little bit.
yeah, but it just looks more polished. It just looks like in a more polished state than, especially for a game that's doing a technical alpha test or whatever, right? It looks in a way more polished state than what Marathon looked like. So it's hard to,
Mhm.
not be impressed. But yeah, that's neither here or there. Um, yeah, I don't think we have anything else to add.
No,
Let me read the chat. I don't think there's anything else to top. Like, yo, chat, is there anything that we missed talking about that we should get to before we get the hell out of here quickly, right? Something if there's a topic that we haven't discussed. I do feel like I'm missing something that we should
something
address or
major.
talk about. I feel like it, but
Uh,
I
let me see.
feel like it, yo. I don't know.
There's some prices. What's been
I don't
hot this week? Let me check M4G real quick. A day's
I feel
gone.
like I'm missing a topic, bro. I feel like I'm missing a topic that we should be talking about real quick.
Ooh.
If I remember, I guess we could always pull back next podcast and discuss. Definitely discuss.
Yeah. Of course, of course.
All right, then. With that being said, man, we're gonna take our leave. It's definitely been a good podcast. You know what I mean? Shout out to everyone who hit the like button. Please, if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit that like button, man. You know what I mean?
We talked
We
about the
appreciate it.
success of Clear Obscura, but we haven't. None of us has played it yet, so
Yeah,
we didn't talk
I
about
haven't played
the
it yet, so
gameplay yet.
I don't have much to say in that
I should
respect.
have some impressions on it by next week, as
Yeah,
long as I get through Death Stranding by
that
this
one y'all
weekend.
gonna have to wait. Y'all gonna have to wait to hear at least what I think of that game because I haven't played it yet, and I will not be playing it probably for the.
Oh, but
foreseeable
there
future.
was a lot of fucking frauds being exposed on the timeline
Turn-based
about that
shit. The
turn-based shit.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
there was some. Oh
Yep,
boy,
yep.
Clear Obscura was the
Because of Game
savior
Pass,
for turn-based.
people love turn-based now because someone Game Pass, someone dropped the Game Pass, and now
Yeah.
they loving turn-based. Yo, turn-based games have always been fire. Dragon Quest 11 is a kind of recent drop. Persona,
Bro, Baldur's Gate
5,
3, like one of the
Baldur's Gate
biggest
3
games of all time.
Fire Emblem
It was
3
literally.
Houses. These are all amazing turn-based games, bro. So if you are getting into turn-based, I guess try these other games that we're listing. Persona 3 Reloaded, amazing turn-based game. There's mad turn-based games that are fire, bro. You know what I mean? So definitely.
That shit was hilarious.
Definitely. All right, J man, let's get out of here, man. Yo, it was
Yes,
a good
sir.
podcast. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Shout out to all our live viewers. Shout out to the people who are going to be watching this podcast after. We do appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. At least get us 100 this time, not 99. You know what I mean? And and we'll see you guys next week, yo. Y'all have a good rest of your night.
Peace.
Peace.
I didn't even watch episode 3 yet of